My favorite podcast is Jitty and Tits. I put up my tits to get down with this. My favorite podcast, Jitty and Tits. We fight and then we celebrate with tits.
What's up? You're on with another episode of Jits and Tits. Damn! The Jits and Tits podcast is brought to you by Brandon Remy of Remy Fit, the premier online training outlet for combat sports athletes, focusing on the 4 pillars of performance: movement, mindset, sleep, and nutrition. Check out Brandon at RemyFit.com and be RemyFit on Instagram.
We're also brought to you by Island Kava, Long Island's first and only Kava bar, serving exotic teas and relaxing elixirs that'll help you recover and wind down after an intense training session. Island Kava is located right in the heart of Patchogue.
We are also sponsored by Total Motion 360. This new at-home fitness product combines both functional training and traditional training methods, taking it to new levels never seen before. Total Motion 360 combines landmine training and mixes movements from yoga, Pilates, and Tai Chi, creating fun, total body workouts to promote balance, mobility, and strength. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Total Motion 360 and visit their website, totalmotion360.com.
We're also brought to you by Relax and Revive, which is a total mind and body optimization and rejuvenation space. When you need to feel recharged and ready to go, book an appointment or walk in and give yourself a well-deserved break. They offer access to infrared saunas, leg compression therapies, full-body LED recovery bed, cold plunge, and professional massage therapy. They also have a private room that has an infrared sauna and cold plunge in the same room to try out their contrast therapy.
The Jits and Tits podcast is also brought to you by Lalo. Lalo is a carbonated kava drink inspired by the culture of the south coast of the Fiji Islands, where locals have been cultivating and enjoying kava for generations. Their ingredients are sourced straight from the South Pacific, staying true to their island roots. Inspired by their island lifestyle, Lalo is looking to counterbalance the caffeinated work hard, play hard culture of our time. You can find Lalo at Island Kava, Long Island's major distributor of this relaxing, island-inspired drink.
Yo, 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 what's up, boys?
Yo, Merry Christmas.
Happy
to the
ho-ho,
GDT.
bitches.
Yeah.
The holiday ho train.
That's it. A little Merry Christmas to the Jitty Titty gang.
It's a Jitty Titty Christmas.
That's it.
We're down one
Yo,
soldier
we should
today.
make ornaments for next year.
We should make ornaments.
That's a good
dude.
idea.
Yeah, we should do that.
Like
The Jitty Titty crew.
the
homies.
stress ball tit that Eric Ott had.
Yo,
Yeah.
that was so funny.
We do that.
With a black
Just-
belt
just
around
right,
it.
just-
Yeah,
tits on it,
Jitty
yeah.
Titty. Or, yeah, just covering the nip.
Dude, that was so funny because Jen's kid was like
Oh.
playing with the tit like the
Yo,
entire
that was
night.
so
Like
funny.
he was like throwing him around, stomping him, trying to pop him. Like he wouldn't let go of that thing.
Yeah, it's intuitive. Even at 3 years old, you're like, yo, tits are awesome.
You're like, I remember this.
yeah, I love tits.
I know, and you ask him what it was, and he was like, "It's a ball."
Yeah.
You're like, "Yeah, it's a ball, dude."
What is it like? Why is it just instinct to know that tits are awesome?
It's in our DNA.
It is.
Because maybe
It's
because
how you
like,
first get food.
exactly, yeah. Like it's just like they're your life givers, so
Yeah.
you just know instinctively, like I'm gonna love these forever.
Yep.
It's crazy, actually.
I owe my life to these.
Yeah.
So,
You spend the first 9 months of your life trying to get out of the womb, and the rest of it trying to get back in,
That's so true.
and then you spend however long getting your life's blood sucking on the titties, and then you're like. You grow up and you're like, this isn't a food source, but it's real fun.
Have any of you guys tried breast milk like as an adult?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have? Is it gross or
Yes.
it's good?
Yeah, it's gross.
it's like bitter
Oh, dude.
because the kids go ape shit for it.
It's like viscous too. It's like thick.
Yeah.
Is it? I heard it's like really good for
It's
you.
like
though.
having a bowl of cereal with like real soggy milk mixed into it.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
is it like clumpy or?
Yeah. It's clumpy.
Because I seen that video of the girl like dancing and then she just pulls her boob out and then starts squirting it like projectile.
Yeah,
Shit's
I mean, like,
fucked.
I think that would be a lot different. Like, the way that I had breast milk was not straight from the teat itself. All right?
Well, it was pumped or
It
something?
was pumped.
Not
and, like,
directly from the source.
Yeah, it was pumped into
Processed.
like a cup. And I think
highly
then
processed.
Then I think then it was like super weird because like it was just you saw the consistency, you got like a mouthful.
It's like yellowish, right?
I think if somebody sprayed me down from the teat, it wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah, it's warm milk. I feel like warm milk can't be good. I know people warm it up to like help them sleep and shit, but
Ugh.
I can't see that being good.
Dude, I'm not
But
about
I heard
milk
it's really
anymore.
good for you because like Jamal Anderson was a running back for the Falcons in like the 90s and he was on MTV Cribs and he opens up his freezer and he's like, this is what gets you the 1,000-yard rushing seasons. And it's like breast milk, like you know nothing about that.
Well, they did studies like apparently kids that were breastfed like for a longer time. You're supposed to like they say you're supposed to like breastfeed till you're like 5 or 6.
That's wild.
But the kids who did that had higher testosterone, like better brain function. They were bigger physically, like
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
yeah.
I was told they really push it in the hospitals, and like the women obviously want to breastfeed, but sometimes the baby's just not taking. I think they call it latching, and like they like beat you up if you're like not getting it. But then other people say that like their kids are just as good with like the formula. It beats the titties up though.
It does.
It does, yeah.
And it hurts. If the kid doesn't do it right, it hurts.
Yeah.
Well, that's
You
why they
know?
make the pumps. You could just pump it, and then
Yeah.
you know. So
Bottle-
like
bottle feed.
if you're 5 years old, you don't have to be on the titty, but you could still be on the milk.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just wild.
I've seen like
Fucking
videos on like the internet of like a woman that has like a 12-year-old kid who still breastfeeds.
Did you know that if you continue like say your kid's done breastfeeding, but like you continue like pulling on the titty, like it keeps happening. Like the milk will stay there. As long as like there's like someone wanting it, it's gonna continue producing.
Yep.
Wild.
That is weird.
Crazy.
It's weird.
I'm gonna have to try it if I ever get the opportunity. Regardless of what you guys said, like I have to see for myself.
Family dining.
Go straight for the tits. Because like I love sushi, you don't like sushi, so you don't like breast milk. Maybe
You
I
might-
like breast
you
milk.
might
You know,
like
you never know.
D-Rock, do you like sushi? You don't, right?
I don't eat any seafood.
Yo, it might
See, it's a see. You know, see,
You might be
onto
onto
things.
We might be
something.
good to
You're
go.
onto things. But hold on, before we get off the the topic, D-Rock, what you were saying before, it reminded me of something I reposted this morning from Paul Check. He wrote like a quote on Instagram. It says, "Man will continue to invent technologies outside of himself until he realizes that every technology he builds is actually already present within himself." And then it says, "The question is, will he destroy the earth before figuring it out?"
Deep.
What did I say that had any relevance to that?
When you were,
I was like, yeah, we're talking about breast milk.
No,
here.
something you said about how like about the sucking on like the tits, like it's like and I said it's like it's what's supposed to happen, like it's a natural thing to do.
Right. Yeah, like it's
But
built
that
into
made
you.
me think about that.
that post.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like certain things are just inherent. You know what I mean? Like
It just habits intuitive.
yeah, like I think we were talking about this last week. Like babies that just know how to squat, they know how to crawl. It's just like it. You don't have to teach kids that. Like, just like you don't have to teach a dog like to lick its balls or go nuts when it sees a
Or
squirrel.
lift his leg up when it pisses.
Yeah, it's just built in.
It just happens. It's just how it is.
Love
It's just
it.
hardwired into the DNA.
That's pretty cool about the
Love for the
squatting.
titties
I always
built in.
found that fascinating when you brought that up. That like babies like have like perfect like squat form and stuff.
Babies do almost everything perfectly until they meet us and we fuck them up.
It's so crazy.
Yeah,
You
but I
know?
feel like eventually that's going to stop though.
What?
The perfect form and the intuition.
It is now
in
because
people.
you don't have to do that in today's society. We have
Yeah.
chairs, we have fucking like your house is so comfortable that it's making us soft.
Yeah.
Like it's funny actually. I just showed Bree this the other day. This guy, do you guys follow the Liver King?
No.
No, I've seen some
You
of the
see him?
shit. Yeah.
So I mean, he's definitely a fucking psychopath. Like that guy is out of his mind. He also fails to mention all the testosterone that he's taken with
I was
his
gonna
liver.
say they can't all be liver, dude.
But he posted a thing about his like bed and how he sleeps, and he basically made like a pallet, like a hard bed with like layers of 100% organic cotton on top of it, and like it's made to mimic that's how we would sleep if we were in the woods or some shit.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be sleeping on a nice comfortable bed that fucking heats and cools, and you press what number you want and it adjusts.
Changes the firmness.
That's
Right.
funny because like I hear the commercial for the sleep number and it's so tempting. Like it tells you like what kind of quality of sleep you're getting and like all kinds of shit.
Yo,
like
I
that.
get
I'm
the
like,
best sleep in the back of my truck on plywood.
Really?
Yeah,
I had the worst
And a
night's sleep
sleeping
last
bag?
night.
in a sleeping bag.
Really?
Yeah, I have a little mattress topper like that cotton topper, but other than that, it's straight onto plywood.
I probably had a solid 3 hours of sleep last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
I got a nice 8.
I feel fucking amazing right now.
Really? Yeah. Sometimes
I'm a fucking caveman.
Why'd you
it's
get
so
no
weird
sleep?
like that.
My back.
I was tossing and turning all.
Oh, and
all
your
night.
arms have been bothering you too, right?
Yeah,
I
my
ordered those
arms.
things. They should be here next
Oh,
week.
did you really?
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
What?
He's got like he's waking up with like pins and needles, and I'm like, that's carpal tunnel. Like in his arms, like when you get like a electric like impulses up and down your arm.
Mhm.
And I had it really bad to the point where I was waking up like 4 or 5 times a night in like agony. And then I got these braces that like it's got like a little piece of metal in it. And it's just like you've seen carpal tunnel braces.
Yeah, and it holds you like
Yeah,
open.
and it stops you from like sleeping on your wrist, basically, and it makes me now I sleep through the night like no problem.
Yo, I get that sometimes, but not in my wrist. Like sometimes I'll just be sitting here, like say if I'm doing computer work and my arms are bent at like 90 or more for like a long period of time, like my shit will start to go numb.
Yeah,
Do you ever get that?
That's another part of carpal tunnel.
Sometimes, yeah.
I
You know
didn't
what
know
I've
I
been
had
getting
it.
lately is I noticed that I must be like really like clenching my jaw in my sleep. I'll
Yeah.
wake up and I'm like my jaw hurts.
TMJ.
Yeah.
And I feel it in my teeth. Like, yeah. I
Gotta
feel
wear
like,
that mouthpiece.
yeah, I might have to. I don't know what's going on lately.
You have a custom mouthpiece, right?
I had one. I lost it.
Your boy probably sleeps with the mouthpiece. I know he carries it with him to the bar.
He probably does sleep with a
Tommy D.
mouthpiece.
But yo, if you get a custom mouthpiece, yo, you could definitely sleep with that. That shit don't come out.
Yeah.
Mine, I have to like sometimes like fucking like
Yep.
rip it out.
Yeah. But yeah, only in the last like month have I noticed I'll wake up in the morning. I'm like,
Yeah, it
the
sucks.
fuck?
That fucking
I don't
sucks.
know
The
what's
place,
going on. I'm going to bed pissed or something.
Damage control, where I got my mouthpiece, they actually make one specifically for sleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I might have to look into that.
Yeah.
There's a strap that goes over your head so it never falls.
Headgear.
It's like a
Goes
fucking
over my
headgear.
nose like
My sister had that headgear shit where it's like it goes above your head and then it goes around here and it's like pulling on your shit while you're sleeping.
Oh,
Really?
like-
Yeah, it's like that super like nerdy thing.
Yeah.
Like
The
she only-
wire.
yeah, she only had to wear it to bed, but like other people have to wear it like around school and shit. Horrible.
I'm glad I didn't have any shit fucked up with me as a kid, dude. That would have been hard coming up.
Yeah. I only had braces for 6 months. Like,
Never had braces.
really?
Never.
Yeah, I had 6 months, dude. Like from 5th grade going into 6th grade. I got them off before middle school. I was
Oh,
like,
that's
I was like,
perfect. That's
clutch.
perfect.
Yeah,
timing,
that is
dude.
perfect timing. I wanted braces because of the gap in my teeth.
I wanted braces too, just because everybody else had them.
That's so cool.
I was like the only person that didn't have
I
them.
was
and I was
so
like,
against braces.
So was I.
I didn't get them until I was in 10th grade.
I never
and
got-
I'm
I
like,
never
this is.
needed them.
I'm like, why did you listen to like your 12-year-old son that like he didn't need braces? Because I clearly needed fucking braces, man. I'm like, why are you letting 12-year-olds?
Yo, and
make
then I got my
decisions?
retainers, the clear retainers after.
Yeah.
You're supposed to wear them for like 6 months, whatever. Dude, I lost them the second week.
Oh,
And
I never wore my
every
retainers
time,
either.
I mean, I haven't been to the dentist in God knows how long. I fucking hate the dentist.
Really?
Yeah, fuck them.
They don't bother me.
Yeah, nah, I'm not a fan
either.
Not a fan. But every
People
time I
hate
did
it.
go after I had braces and like I wasn't wearing my retainers, you know how they're always like, oh, you better wear your retainers or your teeth are gonna go back to how they were.
Yeah.
Every time I go to the dentist, they're like, wow, you have perfect teeth. Did you have braces? I'm like, yeah, I didn't wear my fucking retainers.
Yeah, so stupid.
I wanted braces strictly because everybody in my class had them, and my best friend at the time, my buddy Ray Goico, who I'm still friends with to this day.
Shout out Ray.
Yeah, he had braces, and he'd always like every time he'd go back or whatever, he'd have like the new colors. Like he
The
was
new
coming in-
colors.
he was rocking the Knicks colors. He had fucking Rangers. I was like, yo, that's dope.
Dude,
I wanted it just for that, so I could get the bands like and customize them.
They were
That's so
they were like
crazy.
fronts.
Yeah, yeah.
They were like the end of the world to me. Like I had no idea that anyone ever thought that fucking
You're the man.
that anyone thought braces were cool. But like Danny Stoffi from Breathe, he was saying like the same situation. Like his friends had them and like he wanted it so bad and he thought it was like fucking cool. I'm like, dude, when I got braces, I was like, fuck, this is horrible. And I didn't get them off till like senior year. I had braces pretty much like all through high school.
My whole
I think I
class
got them
had
on
them.
like 9th grade and I got them off it in like summer going into 12th grade.
I was literally like the only kid that didn't have braces, and like I said, they were all customizing their shit, and I was like, damn, that's pretty cool.
Yo, when I went in one time and I was like, she's like, oh, what color do you want? And I was like, I forget whatever color I said. She's like, oh, we're out of that. What else do you want? And I was like, I don't know. What do the cool kids get? I was like, she's like, a lot of kids been getting pink lately. I'm like, fuck it, throw them on.
I just wanted braces because the gap, and my aunt was so cheap. She said no.
Dude, they are expensive.
They are
Yeah.
expensive.
I know.
think they're
and
like-
Now you
dental-
can get
and
those
dental
clear
insurance-
ones.
They're like
you can get
bands.
like just like I had like the retainers.
Yeah, but dental insurance sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Now
But
that
supposedly
I'm
those are a lot cheaper.
Now that I'm an adult, it's like, what's the point of paying for dental? You
Oh
pay-
my gosh,
you
it's
pay out of pocket.
everything is still so expensive.
Yeah, you pay out of pocket anyway.
It's like,
Yeah.
why is this even insurance? Insurance is supposed to make shit cheaper. I'm supposed to pay like a $20 copay.
Yep. And
Like
you
I'm
still
paying
pay
like
an arm and a
fucking
leg.
hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
supposed
you
to
just
get a
don't
root
go.
canal. It's fucking like I got to pay $500 out of pocket for
That's
it.
insane. And you
Yeah.
have dental?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
still $500. Like, well, it would have been $2,400. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
This is
Yeah.
still way too fucking
It's
expensive.
It's still way too
It's
expensive.
still insane.
Yeah, I was going to. There's a dentist down the block from me, and they said they accepted my insurance. And I was going through all that shit with the teeth. That was workers' comp. But then they were like, "Oh, you should get a cleaning."
Oh, yeah, you probably have had a lot of dentists.
Oh, so much. That's why it doesn't bother me that much. What did bother me though was when I was getting the implants. They had to do bone grafts and stuff, and they had to. I was missing 3 teeth, and they had to do bone grafts. So it took. They basically had to numb like the whole top of my mouth. So they bring out this fucking Novocaine needle that looks like it's from like
worst.
It looks like it's from a Saw movie, and they had to numb so many different spots in my mouth that like they tilted the chair back and they stuck me like no joke like between like 10 and 15 times. So then when they bring the chair back up, there's like tears streaming down my face. They're like, "Are you all right?"
You
I'm
give
like,
me like
"Yeah,
PTSD from my childhood."
Yeah, nasty. I was like, "Oh, this is horrible," and I had to do that like 4 times.
Well, you know what's fucked up is like my parents they brought me and my brother to the Stony Brook like. It's not like they're not real dentists. It's like they're still in school.
They're students. Yeah, it's like
students.
they're learning. Yeah,
They're being practiced on.
Yeah,
It's like going to get an apprentice tattoo.
yeah.
It's the same shit.
But what was fucked up is like, you know, I'm a little kid, right? I have to go to the dentist for like fucking 4 hours because they're doing one thing and then they have to have like wait for the teacher to come and get it checked, and then they go do their thing a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, just do a little bit more over here, blah blah blah." And then, you know, fucking 5 more times later, and then I'm finally done. So
you were a guinea pig, bro.
dude, that was the worst. I would never wish that on anyone.
No, fuck that.
Because now I'm never going to the dentist ever again.
My worst experience with a dentist, I was like 15, 14 years old, and I had wisdom teeth coming in, but it didn't even come through the gum yet. But when they x-rayed it, they were able to see that it was coming in crooked, and it was going to mess up the whole like alignment of my teeth. Mm-hmm. So they went in and took it out. No Novocaine.
Oh my god!
Oh, you see the guy standing on the chair?
Because my aunt was cheap.
Oh my god, that's horrible. That's the cruel and unusual punishment.
14 years old, no Novocaine.
Ugh, I'm gonna throw up.
They cut my gum. The tooth wasn't even coming through the gum yet. They cut the gum. The dentist grabbed it with a pair of pliers, dude, and started turning.
Are they fucking allowed to do that?
Dude, they did it.
They can't they can't just stick you. They're like, "Listen, your aunt's a cheap fuck, but I'm gonna throw the Novocaine in there because
right.
you're a kid."
Yeah.
And like, how much
there's
is
gotta be
how much is this little injection really costing here? Like, you could just act like there's a little bit of spill.
Maybe there was Novocaine.
Yeah, but it didn't work great.
Didn't do anything.
Because she's cheap because she didn't want to do anesthesia.
Yes.
So you were.
Yes.
I
was awake. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah. It was the anesthesia.
Yeah.
It was the anesthesia. So I was up for the whole thing, dude.
Yeah.
I was up for them like kneeling on my chest.
That's a nightmare.
I did the same thing for a root canal. They
dude,
didn't.
Insane.
I went for an emergency root canal. I remember I needed a root canal. It was like over Easter weekend, so nothing was open. I was in misery for like 2 days. Finally went in, and the fucking stupid dentist apparently like screwed up my file or whatever, and said like started this procedure on me, no anesthesia, because they thought that I was allergic to certain types of anesthesia. So I was awake for the entire root canal.
Oh,
That
jeez.
sucks.
I was never put under. I had like the shots of like was it Novocaine?
Yeah.
Like I've had that, but I never never went like to sleep or anything like that.
Nope.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
They put me to sleep for a tooth extraction. I think it was probably like 10, 11 years ago. I had to get a tooth extracted because I got it broken while I was sparring. The top end broke. I only had like a piece of it left, and I had to get it taken out. And I remember they put me under. I woke up fucked up.
Damn.
Like real fucked up.
Like
and
angry, right?
yeah, and like I had all this shit packed in my mouth, and I was like freaking out about it because like I didn't remember what went on when I finally came to. But I remember them telling me like, listen, what's going to happen is the gap is going to fill. Like you're going to see it. It's going to fill with blood. Do not pop it. Like resist the temptation to like tongue it. And I did my best, dude. And I was sitting. We got high. I was at my
that's
friend
so
Will's
bad.
house,
That's
dude. I
how
was
you get
high
dry
as
socket.
fuck, and I fucking popped this thing, dude, and I started choking on all this blood. It was disgusting. I had to go back, and they're like, "Oh, well, now we got to pack it." So like they went back in, opened it up, packed it full of gauze and shit, and sewed it up. They're like, "Cause you're an idiot."
Shit. It's so hard not to
It was
play with it because it's uncomfortable. You have like a
Yeah.
bubble in your mouth, like you want to, like this isn't natural.
Especially when you're stoned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did the same thing with my ear though. I remember when I first got fucking cauliflower ear, they put this. It's called a
drain?
pressure drain, and they put this thing on you. And the guy, it was like 3 days, and then I go back, and my dumbass couldn't stay off the mat, and I was drilling with Andre at the time at Red Boy, and we were drilling, and Dre's spastic ass hit me in the head, and we were just drilling and knocked the pressure drain off. And I went back to the fucking ENT, and he's like, what happened? I was like,
Did you tell him the truth?
yeah. I was like, I was drilling. He's like, I told you not to do that. He's like, so now, he's like, you're not going to enjoy this. They want to fucking suture my ear to my fucking head.
Oh my
Fuck
god!
that.
It was a cauliflower.
It was bad, dude. It was like Randy Couture ear right off the bat.
Oh,
and he's like, yeah, we're gonna suture your ear to your head. Like, basically what they were gonna do is like go right through the center of it, pull my ear back, and suture it to my head. And he's like, this is not gonna feel good for you.
What
They
is
showed
that
me
gonna
this
do?
needle. I don't remember. I was like, dude, I was like, I'm not fucking doing this. He's like, yeah, it's not gonna feel good, and you're not gonna be able to train for 6 weeks. I was like, I'm
Definitely
all
not
set.
doing
So
that.
I got up and walked out.
I'll take
Yeah,
my chances.
because some cauliflower ear like pushes your ear
You're
off
out.
your head.
Yo,
so it's
honestly-
almost like they're like satellite
Yeah, like-
dishes.
yeah,
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
so you know how like you see how mine are like not that sticking out.
Yeah.
So you know what actually helped that like a ton was,
Tape.
No, was wearing well, like we have the Jitty Titty hats, but I have like the Remy Fit ones. Wearing that like right around my ears kept it like tight to my head.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that like when I first happened, it was like blown up and it was like still a little squishy. And
Jesus. Wow. Dick on my back, bro.
it was still a little squishy.
T.O.B.
And they it really like flattened my ear out. That's why one of them doesn't have like a lot of ripples in it.
Yep.
It definitely helped a lot. So if you have cauliflower ear, buy a Jitty Titty hat and just rock it.
There you go.
You know?
It'll keep it nice and flush to your
nice
head.
and even if you
flush.
don't, just buy a Jits and Tits hat and rock it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, you can now go online and purchase it straight on the website.
Dude.
Do we have gray ones?
Amazing.
We do have gray ones.
Yeah, I think someone did get that gray.
I did.
You did.
It took a little while.
Yeah, didn't you get? You're like our best purchaser, right? Didn't you get 3?
He did.
I did. I bought 3. My son wanted 1. One of his friends would have won.
They're the coolest kids in school now. Everyone's like tits. I can see us like having to like do another order.
That's exactly what happened.
I don't know if
my wife said, "Don't wear that to school."
Yeah, I
The
don't know
whole
if they're
football
wearing-
team wants one.
I don't know if they're wearing them to school.
Oh, they are.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, my son loves to push buttons.
Yeah, like
and
move the needle.
piss people off. And like if we're going to let's say you're going to a Met game, he's wearing a Yankee jersey.
Yes.
He is that guy.
He's that guy. Oh, he's that guy.
Gee, where'd you get that from?
I don't know. It's so weird.
Apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, you bring up anything, he's going to take the contrarian approach just to piss you off and really kind of like, I don't know, like twist the needle, get you going a little bit.
Hopefully he runs for president. When he gets
Yeah, I like this. He's a little wise ass. I love
Yo,
it.
you know
No,
what?
his dad's got too many skeletons. He can't run for president.
I want to talk about the. Do you see Nate Diaz walking through the fights?
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, that
Flinching?
was so funny.
Dude, what was that? Was that a beer guy like running beer to someone's table, or was that just some fan? Because the amount,
fighter.
dude, the amount of beer that went up in the air, it looked like a full keg.
It looked like a pitcher.
It looked like a pitcher of
He
fucking
definitely had
beer.
a tray of multiple beers on there, like the carrier.
Dude, there was so much beer in the air. It was the funniest shit ever.
Supposedly, that was at the Jake Paul fight. Supposedly, the Diaz boys got into it with somebody from AJ McKee's gym. I guess they were fighting on the undercard of that. There was some type of skirmish between the two groups at the weigh-ins the day before. So Nate Diaz was walking by, and that guy who flinched and spilled the beer is a MMA fighter with like a 2-6 record.
Oh, trash.
So he was part
Damn.
of that crew. So Diaz hit him
Can
with the
make it
fucking
2-7 now.
yeah, hit him with the old okey doke, and it went viral. So the guy who was in that video released this whole Instagram video ranting about like, I'm a real one, you ain't no gangster, you won't be laughing, Dana White signed me for 1 contract so I can knock Nick Diaz out. It's like, dog, you're 2-6. You ain't getting signed to the UFC.
yeah.
Did you see Cerrone might be fighting March 5th?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just saw it today.
Yeah, I'm done with Cerrone.
Dude, that's me and you's get your weight up, not your hate up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start off with that because fuck the combat jiu-jitsu. That shit was whack.
That
No,
was
combat
horrible.
jiu-jitsu is awesome. That fucking match was
No, that's
whack.
what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, if we're gonna like promote a fight,
As a fight,
yeah, it can't be an exhibition.
Yeah.
That shit was the worst ever.
We
it
were
was
so
such a waste
excited
of
that-
time.
Dude, we were talking about that for a month on this podcast, how excited we are. And I'm all, yo, I think Cerrone is going to give him a better time, like a more work than people give him credit for. They did nothing. They
Yeah.
literally
Did
It's a good
nothing.
match. Yeah, dude, it was a joke. They were like playing around. It looked like Neither one of them were serious, and it's like, dude,
was
that was
flow
the
roll.
main event.
Yeah, that's the worst part. It was the fucking main event.
I'm happy I didn't hang around from that because I was already here for 12 hours and I'm like, I'm shot. I gotta go home.
And then you hear Angelo from Breathe. I guess like someone he trained with when he was in Florida had a super fight after Cerrone and Craig Jones, and they cut off the live stream, so he didn't even get to watch.
Oh, that's
That
so
sucks.
lame.
Yeah, man, like you can't do that. You can't come out and promote something as a real fight. Yeah, it's an exhibition.
It was. I wouldn't even call it an exhibition. Like if that was an exhibition fight, I would have been pissed to watch that. Like it was a fucking flow roll. It was like if they went into their training like room or whatever, their gym, right? The B team, and Cerrone was there with Craig Jones.
Just drop it in.
That's what it would be.
Yeah.
It felt like a prank.
Yeah, it did feel like a prank.
I'm like, they literally are pranking us.
Yeah.
Like, haha.
Because I've seen some training rounds with Craig Jones, and they go hard in that room.
Yeah.
That
like,
shit wasn't even a training session.
Even like the Gordon Ryan, like he had a couple of those exhibition things, but those were like, those people were actually trying, like, you know, maybe not to 100%, but like it looked like it, you know.
He was laughing. Excuse me. He was laughing the whole time, like pretending to throw slaps, threw a fake knee, like giggled.
Yeah.
And they literally went into that waist lock whizzer like 3 or 4 times willingly, like smiled, and we're just like, okay,
Yeah,
let's just pretend to wrestle from here.
Yep.
And then
That was a nice takedown Cerrone had though.
yeah, but then like
But then he didn't do anything.
he got
It's like,
swept
oh my god,
like a little baby. And it's like, yeah, don't get me wrong, I know the levels are different, but like it just looked like
Like he shouldn't have had
Cerrone
a
was
black
letting
belt.
him drill a sweep on him with zero resistance.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
I was so fucking pissed. I think I texted you right away, Nick. I was like, I'm so fucking mad.
Yep.
Yeah, we were sitting here watching it. We're like, "Are you fucking serious?"
The
Like,
worst.
That's what we waited for. It was bad.
Yeah, but that's becoming the nature of combat sports with all the Jake Paul, Logan Paul.
Yeah, the money fights.
Yeah, the Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. You're getting all these oddball circus acts to fight guys from different combat leagues, professions, things like that, and they're putting on these exhibitions, and not one of them has been good. They're all been terrible. And idiots like us still look forward to them. We still spend a shitload of money on it.
Yeah,
I was like,
true.
the latest fight, the latest Paul fight, I was like, we're not fucking doing it, man. Like $70 to watch a bunch of jerk-offs all night long, come out, spend 45 minutes on their way to the ring, and then you watch awful shit in the ring, and then the Jake Paul fight's usually a disaster.
Yeah.
This one was better. That was so funny when you were replaying the knockout like every 2 seconds. I was like, is this the stream or is Shawn just like going back 5 seconds?
Remix.
Well, it's because like every time a new one comes out, we're like, oh, this one's gonna be better. This one's gonna be better.
And
And it's
I'm
not.
done with Triller. I'll never watch another Triller event.
No.
those are horrendous.
Those are fucking terrible.
And anything that's built up with hype about like, oh, this guy he's crossing into this thing now is nope, not watching it because they're not gonna go hard.
No, it's a circus.
I will watch if Street Jesus fights Jake Paul. I will be watching that.
Yeah, because
No
I
way,
feel like
no.
he will try and fuck him
He's.
up.
I think he's got too much pride to like fuck around. But his demands are insane. He
$20
wants
million changes
wants-
a lot of people's minds.
He wants 20 mil plus a cut of the pay per view. He's like
Yeah.
UFC's not going to do it for free.
Yeah, so that's you're looking at he's going to probably get 50 million on that, like 50 million, which is fucking insane.
Yes, why
And
wouldn't you? Do
all
that?
the rumors every time there's one of these fights, all these rumors come out of the camps about these NDAs that these guys are signing and the no knockout clauses and shit like that. And I think it's 100% true. These guys are saving face, and what they're doing is they're making a ton of money on it, and they're just paying the other guy to keep their mouth shut and like don't fucking say anything, and you're gonna clean up. And these guys are like, fuck it, I made what did Woodley make? Maybe 2-3 million in the UFC, not counting endorsements.
Yep.
So this guy just quadrupled his pay in one fight,
Yeah.
and then did it again.
That's so sad, honestly.
I gotta
Yeah.
say too,
It really is.
I was a little skeptical about what we talked about last week about like the idea of a fix, but now that I saw Tyron Woodley paying fans for the best meme of his knockout,
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Like, for you to be
like okay with that.
that cool with it is real sus to me. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you got knocked out by a jerk off, and you're like,
supposedly a
Yeah.
professional
let
fighter.
me
It's
pay
like,
a fan for the best meme of me getting fucking embarrassed.
I know, like you saw Dustin after like the Oliveira fight, like saying that he's heartbroken, like how sad it was, like that's how he was feeling after he lost. He's like, I worked so hard to get back here, and then for Woodley to be like making fun of the fact he got knocked out, it's like what's going on? And then
It's
you
the
got
most embarrassing loss of your life.
you got Jake Paul like throwing him a Rolex like the
Right
week
before
of
the
the
fight,
fight.
yeah.
It's like, what's going on?
Wait, he gave Woodley a Rolex?
Yeah, he gave him a Rolex,
Really?
bro. Yeah.
Ultimate to make one joke. During an interview, I think it was Helwani was doing the interview. He handed him Woodley a $10,000 Rolex. So he's like, oh, yo, this shit's fire. Woodley puts it on. So I'm pretty sure it was Helwani. Was like, why would you give him a gift before the fight? Because it's time to get his punk ass knocked out.
Yeah, just for just an expensive
It's been
joke.
$10,000
yeah.
for a one line joke.
Yeah.
Listen, I respect it for a joke like that, but it like wasn't even that funny.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't that funny.
And then if you're like Woodley, you're sitting there and like you're putting this fucking watch on. I don't know, man. I lost a ton of respect for that guy. Not that I had a lot because I didn't like him. Because once he changed. Once he won the belt, he became a completely different fighter. That's so reserved. He was boring to watch, which he never was in his career. And it was just. And I get it. Listen, I don't fault him for it. I just not gonna. I'm not. You're not exciting
But
anymore.
it's
I'm not
not,
gonna watch
it's not
fights.
how you got there. It's like, continue how you
all he
are.
wanted was to get there. So now he can focus on his streaming career, his
rap
video,
career.
and his rap career.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as like Woodley going into that boxing match with Jake Paul, it's like there's so much on the line, more than just like your reputation. Like the actual sport of MMA. Like that's what that
Right,
whole
you're-
event was. It
you're
was boxing.
representing the sport
It
of
was
MMA.
boxing versus MMA.
Yeah.
And for you to get knocked out and just play it off like, yeah, who has the best joke, who has the best meme? It's kind of like, all right,
It's a
man.
slap in the
like,
face to everyone.
Yeah. Or it's just proof that like, listen, this was all just one big hoax. Everyone got fucking fooled.
Well, that was like one of the first ones was Mayweather and McGregor when McGregor boxed him, and they were like on like private jets together and all this stuff. Like they're acting like each other, talking shit about each other's families.
Yeah,
and
but that was
legit.
a decent
Yeah,
fight.
It was
like
No, Mayweather carried him.
Well, yeah,
Mayweather had him. Yeah,
Mayweather-
I don't
absolutely.
think that was a decent fight.
He could have ended that fight in any round he wanted to.
I mean, he definitely could have, but I'm saying like at least there was like exchanges being thrown.
Yeah.
Like
Connor kept like hammer fisting the back of his head and shit. It was,
I
like,
think
it was so bad.
Conor Lynn did maybe 11 punches, like clean, one good uppercut that people still talk about. Like he did get him that uppercut. No, like I landed one fucking lucky punch.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time was dirty boxing.
And Mayweather was like moving forward the whole time, which isn't his game at all. Like he's a defensive boxer.
He didn't throw a punch in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, he was
I
just
think he
chilling.
had 2 or 3 punches in 2 rounds.
They were on private jets laughing about all the money that they were
Yeah.
making.
Yeah.
And they
Yep.
made a shitload of money.
Yeah, it's just, and like,
Everybody
That-
has a price, man.
100%.
Everybody has a fucking price.
$1 million
and that's
man.
what still keeps me suspect about Gaethje Khabib, man, because Gaethje was way too like happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
now you look at him now, how pissed he is. Like he just came out and was like, "I'll burn the whole thing down if Conor McGregor gets this title shot when he comes back." He was furious about if Chandler was
yeah,
going
it's
to
like
get it.
why?
Yeah, because he was promised some
right.
shit. He got promised the next crack if he fucking took a dive on
Absolutely.
that goddamn fight.
Yeah, and Khabib, that was like the only fight that Khabib didn't fucking murder somebody on the ground. Every fight that Khabib
Right.
had,
He fucking submitted him. It's
Well,
like
that's-
when
yeah.
does he do
right
that?
to it. He transitioned right to it 2 times. And that first round when he went for that armbar, I looked at Nick. I was like, dude, Khabib never goes to submissions like that. What's going on?
yeah.
It was sus from the beginning.
Yep.
The Iaquinta fight was also, in my opinion,
A carry.
yeah. I felt like he carried Iaquinta through it. And like, listen, all respect to Al, he fought a war against that guy, but watching Khabib just fucking lay on people and smash the ever living shit. I'm talking about the best of the best. This guy's taken out and just beat the living shit out of. And nothing happens in that fight. Like
Yeah, like you
that
watch-
doesn't get stopped. How does that fight not get stopped?
You
How is
watch
that not-
him and Michael Johnson when
Yep.
he's smashing Michael Johnson with some of those brutal ground and pound ever, and he's yelling at him, "Quit! I deserve the title shot. You have to stop. You have to quit." Smack, smack.
Yeah.
And that's like, what? Where did that go?
Yeah.
Right.
That guy
No,
was
and it
so
was-
hungry.
There was a ton of controversies around that entire card. So it was almost like, hey, don't make this main event. Don't make it a 1-round beating because everyone's gonna get pissed off. Like,
Yeah, you're good enough to carry this guy, so carry him.
Right.
Make it a show for us. Save
and
this
I'm not
card.
saying that Al was on because but I just did not see the ground and pound out of Khabib that you've seen in every other fight of his.
Yeah.
Yeah, he manhandles everybody, and like Iaquinta's good, but he's not that good.
And he was coming. It wasn't. He was been like selling real estate and stuff. Like that was just a random fight for him. Like,
Yeah,
he was,
exactly.
No, he was
fighting.
fighting. He was supposed to be on that card.
Yeah, he was on that card already.
He was on that
He was on the
card.
card, but I'm saying he really like. I feel like he was at this point. He had already stepped like away for a while.
No, he was training
He's still
for.
training.
He was supposed to fight that night. He was supposed to fight Paul Felder originally,
Oh, okay.
I think.
Love
But he
Felder.
was on that card, and that's like where all the shuffle was. It's not like they picked him up off the couch.
And Jake, as much as we hate him, like the guy's just making so much money, and he's good at what he does. He's good at making people hate him, and like just
Yeah.
makes him more and more money.
Yeah.
It's like Mayweather.
Like,
Well,
he knows he's a
listen. I
douchebag.
I hate Jake Paul not for the fact that he makes money and he can market himself and get people to come and watch.
You
I
hate him for his haircut.
I hate him. Yeah, the haircut's horrible.
Where's
I hate
hair?
him. I hate him because like he wants to act like he's a boxer, and none of this does anything for either sport.
Right.
These stupid fights don't do anything. No, like MMA doesn't walk away with anything from it. Boxing doesn't either. It's a circus, and like nobody benefits from it besides
honestly,
the fighters.
Well, no,
Well, it actually it hurts it because like
it's not
like
hurting
this.
It's not.
Well, I'm saying it hurts the true fans.
Yeah,
of
it's
both
hurting
sports.
the purists like us, but to all the dum dums,
Yeah.
no. It's bringing more eyes to it.
It's bringing eyes.
Unfortunately, it is.
It's bringing eyes to the circus. It's
Yes.
not bringing eyes to the individual sports.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
For purists like us, it sucks.
Yeah, like
you
my,
know?
my nephew, he used to watch the UFC with me when he was younger and shit, and now that he's getting older, he's off doing his own thing. But like we had a conversation the other night, and he was just like, yo, Uncle Nick, like, you know, Woodley's a fighter. And it's like, yeah, but it's different for starters. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He's not a boxer.
he's not a boxer.
Right.
And a fight's a fight, but still, it's like,
Same thing with Askren.
yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And it's like there's no threat behind his strikes anymore because the takedown's
Right,
not there,
no
the
kicks,
kicks aren't
nothing.
there. So all the other tools that make somebody's mediocre striking up there, top level, it's like all that shit gets taken away.
Right.
You know, and these fans don't see that. They just see, oh, here's Woodley. He was a UFC fighter, a champ at one time, fighting a YouTuber. Okay, like Woodley should win.
Right.
It's not happening.
I gotta take this back to a line that I heard years ago from a rapper. I think it was Copyright, where he's got this line. It's like, I don't blame you for being whack. I blame your fans for being stupid enough to feel you.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Jake Paul. I don't blame Jake Paul for being whack. I blame the fans for like paying attention. I blame everybody for being stupid enough to continue to tune in and give this moment, and us too right now, because we're fucking talking,
we're talking
about it.
That's what-
don't
that's
hate
what I'm
the
trying to
player.
say.
Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
We hate him, but we're talking about
I know,
him, and that's
and
what
it's
he wants.
annoying.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
This is the last time we talk about Jake Paul.
He's the modern day NWO
Yeah.
He sucks.
from
All
wrestling.
right, so to change a little topic, did you guys see the new episode of The Apprentice?
Nah.
What is that?
Trump is Donnie back?
No, One Championship is doing an apprentice show.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
What?
A fighting apprentice.
That's cool.
How's that work?
I guess it's going to be kind of like the UFC Ultimate Fighter, but One Championship is doing it.
And it's called The Apprentice.
The Apprentice.
Dude,
yeah.
one is
Fight
awesome. Like,
edition,
I want them to blow up. They have like
what
the most
a weird,
exciting
what a weird
fights.
name for a fighting show.
Yeah.
How are you a fighter's apprentice?
Yeah, right.
I
So
just
what,
saw it today.
So you're
Hold on.
So you're fighting like for an Ultimate Fighter. Like the winner's gonna get like a contract with one.
I honestly have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I just saw it.
Well, maybe you should have had some details before you spoke that shit off.
I was kind of hoping that some of you guys would have saw it.
I'll check it out.
I saw it when I was taking a shit this morning.
I did see that too. I saw the Apprentice.
I saw that Laura Sanko, who is a smoke show, she works for the UFC. She does a lot of like the desk analyst stuff and commentary for the Contender Series. She like wants, her goal is to get like on the commentary team for like some of the pay-per-views and stuff like that. So I hope she gets it, and then I hope I take her job.
Oh fuck yeah,
So I
dude.
could be an apprentice.
Oh, okay. So it comes up like the Donald Trump Apprentice. The reason it's called that is because they're doing a One Championship edition. So it's the Apprentice show, and they're just kind of partnering with One Championship. That's why it's called the Apprentice.
So what are they doing?
It sounds weird.
They're apprenticing for an office job or a fighting job?
It says,
Like, I don't get it.
It says 16 candidates from all over the world compete in a high-stakes game involving business and physical challenges for a chance to become One Championship chairman and CEO.
Okay, so it's not fighting.
I can't say his name. Chatri Sitiyadong.
Yeah, Chatri Sitiyadong.
Yeah, protege. So like they're trying
suck
to.
my dong?
So it's a CEO thing, but it's they're going for a CEO position. They're
Well,
not
then
going-
I
they're
read
not
that
going for a
completely
fighter.
wrong.
Why
I
does
thought-
shit like that
that's
never
still
stop
cool.
being funny?
I didn't even hear it. I was trying to read.
Suck my dong.
Suck my down. Leave my balls.
I was actually just reading a little bit about him this morning. He's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's been doing like
The CEO.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What's his
He's
name?
a black belt in the boardroom.
Chatri
Suck my
Sit
Sitiyadong.
your
dong.
dong.
Suck my dong.
Suck that dong.
Yeah.
Suck this dong,
Yeah, it says
baby.
it's spelt like Sityo Tadong.
I think it said he's been doing Muay Thai or Taekwondo since he's a little kid, and then along the way he picked up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's a brown belt now.
That's
Oh, nice.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it is.
With Christmas that just passed and shit, we got New Year's coming up. Would you guys ever go to Times Square
Hell no.
No,
and hang out and watch the ball
Hell
drop?
I
No.
went one time.
You went?
Did you?
What?
Let me explain.
You?
Did you
Let me
freeze your
explain.
ass off?
Let me explain.
What was her
Let me
name and why'd she
explain.
make you go?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, did you at least
Her
get
name was
something for
Tommy
it?
DeJosia.
Hey, whatever
Tommy
you're into, man.
Jones.
Tommy,
Yeah.
She
Tommy
sounds-
D,
she
my boy
sound-
Tommy D.
She sounds hot.
Yeah.
He he's been dabbling as like a screenwriter for quite some time, and his aunt was a screenwriter for some TV show on NBC or whatever, and she had like a penthouse suite in Times Square. It was supposed to be like this industry party, and she invited him and was like, you could bring all your friends. So Tommy sold this as like, yo, we're gonna go to this fucking NBC party. They got like, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Like, I'm like, I don't really want to be in Times Square, but this sounds like cool. Like, we're gonna fucking hobnob with some Hollywood people, you know. And this was like 2005, I think.
Okay. Prentice was hot.
We went, and it was whack, bro. There was nobody there. They had these like hired prostitutes, basically, like bartending.
Hey,
Nice.
yo.
Good looking or
No. This one girl literally had, and I'll never forget, she had a tattoo on her arm. It was the Wu-Tang symbol. It said "Cash for Cream."
Oh my God.
My boy Ross still laugh about this, "Cash for Cream," and they were bartending. It was literally, they had like a fucking cooler, like a fucking tailgating cooler
Full of beers.
full of beers and shit.
She was about that life
In the
though,
bathroom,
dude.
and they just blocked the entrance of the bathroom,
In the
and she stood
bathroom.
behind
Oh
it.
my God.
And that was like the bar, dude. It was so whack, and I was like, dude,
what did you do to me?
what are we doing here?
So wait,
And then-
were you in a hotel?
yeah, and then we went downstairs, like out to watch the ball drop. We were like 10 blocks away from watching the ball drop. It was cold as fuck. Then our buddy Pete had his girlfriend with him, and I don't remember what happened, but something happened where they wouldn't let us back into the building after that. She got into it. They like weren't, security wouldn't let us back in the building. It was just a complete abortion. And we ended up just bouncing. And
Yeah, I definitely couldn't be chilling out in the street with all
Hell
those
no.
losers.
it was, dude, it was bad.
Pissing
No,
your-
I had
pissing
a
your pants?
I had a conversation with Ott about this because I'm like, all the businesses, they aren't going to let you go in there and just piss.
No,
like
they
if you're not a customer.
No, you just piss on the street.
So that's what I said to Ott. I'm like, do people just piss themselves, or they just like whip it out and just piss right? He's
People
like,
wear diapers.
People,
Diapers, yeah.
people just piss and shit and wear diapers, and like I'm like, that sounds fucking miserable. You're freezing your ass off. You're packed around all these people. Like you can only carry so much booze. Like where are you even getting alcohol? When
Those
you're
are
there?
all tourists that are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of my buddies are cops, and they work it every year, and they were like, "Yeah, it's fucking gross." And when the cleanup,
Oh,
you know, once we disperse the crowd, he goes, "There's you just piss and shit everywhere." He goes, "Because you can't go anywhere, especially
Yeah.
if you get like if you're
A
up
good
on the kind of the
spot, yeah.
railing."
You're packed in like
You know,
sardines.
He said, and people they're there all day long. They start getting there super early.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them will wear a diaper or something like that. And he's like, there's always fights at all the businesses because people are trying to get in there to use the bathroom, and they're like, "No, you're not fucking coming in."
right.
Otherwise, you'd have a line that would be 3 blocks long. People
Yeah.
trying to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, let's say you brought a bottle of booze in your coat, and that's great. But you're just standing there. Like
Yeah.
you literally you stand there. And I understand they have these musical acts and stuff like that. But you might as well just watch a music video on your phone because they're lip syncing. It's not like they're
Yeah.
actually performing.
Yep, that's so true.
Yeah. Bree and I went to the Patriots parade one time when they won the Super Bowl, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago.
Trader.
And listen, I didn't want to fucking go, but I went.
Yeah.
And it was by far the worst thing I've ever done.
Really?
Oh my God.
Just freezing your ass off.
It was fucking sleeting, snow, rain, fucking freezing. And like you said, you're standing there like this, shoulder to shoulder with everyone. And it was the worst day. Because I'm not even a Patriots fan, so like, I don't even fucking know these people on the float, you know?
Yeah.
I know Tom Brady and Gronk, like, that's
Yeah.
it.
Did you
Yeah,
say
like,
Gronk was like shotgunning beers and
No,
shit?
so actually, yeah, Gronk came by on the float right by us, took his shirt off. Somebody threw him a beer and he fucking chugged it,
Yeah.
like right in front
Yeah,
of us. It
see,
was
like
funny.
I feel
Fucking
like
man.
I feel like a Super Bowl parade could be cool.
If
but,
it's your
like,
team,
yeah, of course.
I don't fucking know anyone
Of
on the
course,
Patriots, you know?
But like going to the city just to see a fucking electric ball drop,
Yeah.
and you're there all day
Yeah.
long. You're packing mud between the cheeks, dude.
But
It's
I could
not a
say,
good look.
What about?
I could say based on that experience, because I'm sure as hell that there's so many more people for the ball drop, I would never fucking go there.
No.
You couldn't pay me.
No way, dude.
No.
How dumb is it that Patrick does?
Oh
the
my God,
ball
a
drop,
fake ball
but they
at
drop
9
it
o'clock?
at 10 o'clock at night or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, how dumb is that?
Yeah, I know.
I don't understand that. I get they want to make it family friendly, but like,
It's not.
It's not. It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, what are we doing?
You got 2 hours before it's really supposed to drop.
I don't understand that.
They have like the YouTube videos for your kids because like kids want to stay up late but they can't make it, so the parents will just put it on and give like their kids a fake ball drop and
Yep.
be like, okay, go to bed now.
Guilty of that. My kids were like, "No, there's 17 clocks in the house. Not an idiot."
Oh, your
Yeah.
kids saw through it?
Yeah.
Dude, your kid's a little smart.
They're like, Dad, this says 2001.
I always let the boys stay up. I give them pots and pans and say go outside and fucking make some
Fucking
noise.
hate that.
Yeah.
Pots and pans.
Yeah, they fucking cling the pots together. Bang, bang, bang.
I usually shoot my shotgun.
The neighbors love it.
No,
dude.
I'm just kidding.
I was like, that's awesome.
Speaking
I mean,
of Tom
honestly,
Brady,
you could.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you could get away with it, shooting shotgun off.
I started
Probably.
watching yesterday on ESPN Plus. They have this show called Man in the Arena. It's about Tom Brady. dude, it's dope.
Dude, he's like amazing.
He's the GOAT.
It's on
man.
Netflix.
No, it's on ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus. I don't have that.
It's dude, it's sick, and it goes into.
Just slide me your login.
It goes into like all like the defining moments of his career and shit, and
They talk about the deflated ball.
everything.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. He's got a really like cool outlook on things. He seems like a good dude.
He's a mad smart guy.
Yeah, he
and he's
works
like
so hard.
by all accounts like one of the nicest guys. It's like I'm watching it now, like removed from hating him. I'm like, dude, this guy's awesome. Like,
It's hard not to root for him because he was like a backup at Michigan to Drew Henson, who ended up playing in the NFL for like a year. So like if you look at the
6th-round draft pick.
Yeah, and you see like the pictures of him from like the combine, like he looks like the most unathletic like person ever.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever see him run?
You see his
Yeah.
He talks about it. He's like, I made up for it with work ethic. You
Yeah.
know?
Did
Did you see
I
his
kept
picture
working.
when he first came into the NFL?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking. Yeah,
He looks
in,
like
like
Mac
the shorts,
Jones.
he looks like
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
He looks like Mac Jones.
Speaking of the NFL, you see Aaron Rodgers broke Brett Favre's touchdown record
Yeah.
last night.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Rodgers is a stud, man.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
He's such an asshole too. Like
Yeah.
I love Rodgers, and he is one of the biggest assholes in the whole league. And I hate Brady, and Brady's one of the nicest guys in the league. I hate Brady just because he's kicked the shit out of my team for 2 decades.
That's why everybody hates him because
Yeah.
he's so good.
Yeah,
But
but
when
I
you
feel like
watch
the
this
Dolphins
show, dude,
always
it's-
play them tough though.
They do. But I mean, this guy is on the AFC East, and it's 20 years now. It's
Yeah,
always gone through Brady. It
2001
sucks.
for
And
20 years, man.
I went to school at Bryant, which is in Rhode Island, and that was the Patriots off like a preseason home. So back before all these gigantic facilities were built, the teams used to go to colleges, and they would dorm and they would do camp at college for like a couple weeks, and then they would break camp, go home, and then they would go to their practice facility for like the last week or two of the preseason. So the Patriots used to play at Bryant University or Bryant College when we were there. And I went there from 2000 to 2004, and that was Brady got drafted, I think, into 2001 or 2 or something like that. And it was funny because he went from a nobody on the team, and then the next year, that's the year that he won the Super Bowl. The very next year, the parking spots right outside the dorm was Brady. Like Brady's parking spot was in like the senior parking lot on the other side of campus. The very next year, the handicap spot was his, and there would be a big sign there, parking for Tom Brady only. And we would see these guys because we would be up there preseason for lacrosse and stuff like that, working out. And we'd go out to the bar or go out to dinner at the restaurant at the end of the campus. And like one night we sat there, we were eating wings with Ty Law, Lawyer Malloy, 2 fucking Hall of Famers.
Oh yeah,
D-backs.
Ty Law. Love
Just
Ty Law.
awesome guys. And they would all have. We would always like everybody started asking these questions about like, what is this guy Brady? And like, oh, like he's not very good, but he's pretty good. And he said, he can't run. He could barely throw the ball.
He's smart though, and he works really hard.
Like even when the guy was first, I was like, all right, he was serviceable. He was, the Jeff Hostetler stepped in as a backup, took the team to the Super Bowl. It's like that's great. And then all of a sudden, the guy just kept getting better and better. And then it went from he was like serviceable at best to becoming the focal part of the team. It's like, fuck this guy.
I feel like he really broke out like when they signed Randy Moss, and then they went off. It was like in 07.
Yeah, they talk about
that was
the
when they
show.
went undefeated in the regular season.
They talk about it in the show because at that point people were still thinking like Brady was like kind of a fluke, like
Average.
he's just like a product of the system,
Yeah, game
Belichick and all
manager.
that. Like because then
Charlie Weiss.
they started like kind of declining, and then 07 he like came back and fucking set this crazy, had this crazy season and all that
touchdowns.
shit. Yeah, and like it's cool because like they had Drew Bledsoe on the show, and they're like. Bledsoe's like, it's hard. He's like, I should hate Tom Brady. He's like, and I would if he was an asshole. He's like, but he's the nicest guy. He's like, and also, when this happened, he's like, nobody was worried. He's like, nobody thought anything of Tom Brady. He's like, I fully expected to get my position back. He's like, but then, I get healthy and we go into the playoffs. He's like, and they're playing Brady. He's like, and then Brady goes down in that playoff game. I come in,
Wins the game for him.
the AFC Championship, and then they start him for the Super Bowl, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah,
So,
this is my spot.
Yeah, and then like he's like the next season, he's like, I didn't know what was going to happen. He's like, and after I came in and played that playoff game and won, he's like, there was nobody that was happier for me than Tom Brady. He's like, Tom Brady was so happy for me. He's like, I can't hate the guy. He's like, I'm like, fuck. I hated this guy for so long. I'm like, but you got to respect him. Like, he's a nice guy, and he's a fucking competitor, dude. Like,
I remember when they were trying to throw shade on him because he kissed his son on the lips.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that
pretty
shit?
rich.
That was kind of weird.
It is kind of
Was it weird?
Yeah.
It was.
It was like a longer kiss. He was like, "Where are you going?"
wasn't
Give me a
like-
kiss.
It wasn't a long kiss.
Yes, it was.
There
I
was
saw
way
it.
too long.
I saw it, bro.
No, he gives him a kiss, and he's like,
"Get back here."
He's like, "Get back here." That wasn't a real kiss, and his son comes back and puts on for like 10 seconds,
Yeah.
tongue grabbing dicks.
So on my football gambling podcast, shout out West Industry Athletics. We have there's a bet every week between me and the other two guys in the show, and it's if you lose the week, if you have the worst record, you have to wear a football jersey of your least favorite player and team. So everyone picks, like my buddy is a huge Jet fan, so he has to wear, like when he does shitty, he has to wear the Tom Brady jersey. The other guy's a huge Steel fan, so he wears a Browns jersey. So when it came time for me to pick my jersey, I picked Mo Lewis, a Jet. Now obviously I hate the Jets, I'm a Dolphin fan, but I was like, Mo Lewis, that's so obscure, he's a linebacker. I said, Mo Lewis is the guy that hurt Drew Brees. Mo Lewis hit
Drew Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe,
yeah.
Drew Bledsoe. Hit him on the sideline, knocked him out, and opened the door for Tom Brady. Mo Lewis doesn't make that hit. Bledsoe doesn't get hurt.
Brady, we're not talking about Tom Brady.
Nobody's talking about Tom
Brady
Brady
doesn't exist,
because he
yeah.
doesn't get a shot. He's not getting, with his athleticism where it was, there's no way he's getting any sort of shot. So it's all Mo Lewis's fault. Everything, all the hate I have for Tom Brady is Mo Lewis's fault.
That's so awesome.
Dude, that they talk about that in the show. I didn't realize how fucking bad that was, dude. He had like all types of crazy internal bleeding. He was so fucked up.
in his chest, his like lungs.
Yeah.
Oh, he got hit that hard.
Yeah, he
huh?
got hit
Yeah,
hard
but when
and he
you
had,
watch
like, a
the hit, like it's a
contusion in his
hard
lungs.
hit, but it doesn't
Yeah.
look like as bad. But dude, he passed out. Like he came out of the game, he was fucked up, and the game ended. And then they were like, "All right, we got to take you to the hospital." He passed out in the fucking ambulance because of like all the blood that like internal bleeding and shit. He was fucked up.
It's funny how
That's
that shit
crazy.
works out, though. How like a line of events creates like the future, like what you just said about that guy smashing the other
Like
quarterback.
if one thing never happened, the rest of the dominoes would never
Yeah,
fall.
Like what we
Yeah.
talked about with O.J. Simpson and the Kardashians. Like
Yeah.
if O.J. doesn't
yeah.
fucking run for that one touchdown or whatever, you know, or no, if it was if the Bills hit a field goal the year before, they don't draft O.J. Simpson, and he doesn't become who he is. He doesn't meet the Kardashians because he probably would have got drafted to another team.
Yeah.
And if he went to another team, not the Bills, he wouldn't have met Robert Kardashian, and we wouldn't have the Kardashians.
Yeah, it's
all this
crazy.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
There was a great meme. It was a picture of OJ, and he was like, it was right in the beginning of the pandemic when the vaccine had just rolled out, and it was like, I got my vaccine, and he's holding up like a vaccine card or something like that. So some dude comments, Jesus Christ, this guy murdered 2 people and got the vaccine. My grandmother, my 90-year-old grandmother can't get the vaccine. So someone commented, did your grandmother ever run for 2,000 yards in a season? No, she didn't.
You know, it's funny too. Like thinking about the chain of events. I was talking about this the other day. On Thanksgiving, my father and mother both showed up at my apartment, and I haven't been in the same room with them in like 20 years. And I had my dad tell a story to Alexa about how he met my mother. If my dad wasn't on drugs, fucking out of his mind, and a complete wacko,
Chasing other school bus drivers around town.
yeah, I don't exist. My father literally like tailgated my mother in a school bus, like, and she was on the CB, like, get away from me, you fucking weirdo. Like, he walked.
Like they were both bus drivers?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
both bus
Oh,
drivers.
that's
So
so
my
funny.
father, when he first met her, they were in the you know, wherever you bring the buses back to depot, whatever. He's high out of his mind, just walks on her bus and is like, "Hey, baby, how much do you love me?" Never seen her, like, never talked to her. That's the first thing he says to her.
Smooth.
Follows her around, like, tailgating her, almost having her crash in a school bus. Like, if my dad's not a drug addict idiot, I don't exist. Like,
It's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Dude, that's so awesome that he was like a drug addict idiot driving around America's youth.
Chalk up
Yeah.
another W for
It was
fucking
Otto
drugs.
from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he told me the story about when he first started dating my mother. He had just gotten out of jail. He took her to some party, and they're doing drugs. The cops show up, and he bounces on my mom and leaves her there to get arrested. And
She got arrested?
Yeah, she got like arrested, and she was like, called him like, "Phil, what the fuck?" He's like, "I just got out of jail. I can't go back to jail. What do you mean? Like, I had to leave you." And it's like, "Hey, mom, like, this wasn't a red flag for you. You're still stuck around."
Yep.
Like all that stuff. Like if she
Every
was
man for himself.
if
He had
she
a good
was
point.
if she was like wise enough, she'd be like, "Fuck this guy," and then I'm not here.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is
Damn.
fucking
And then
crazy.
Jason Tits is party of 4.
right.
Party of 4.
It's like the Kurt Warner story. They just came out with that movie, the Underdog story.
Yeah, he was bagging groceries, man.
Yeah,
How
and
cool
then,
is that?
And even still, even though he gets his shot, he gets signed to an NFL team. He makes camp, and then the Rams are supposed to be one of the best teams in the league. You know, they're thinking, playoffs, possibly Super Bowl run. And Trent Green, not a veteran, he gets hurt, And then there's the press conference where Dick Vermeil is crying his eyes out. He cried a lot, but he's in the press conference crying at his starting quarterback getting hurt. And like, I guess we're gonna have to go with this guy Warner. Like, I don't know. We don't know if he's very good. Like, maybe he'll keep us in it. And now the guy turns out to be a Hall of Famer.
Greatest show on turf, baby.
That's crazy.
The guy was bagging groceries.
Marshall
My dad was
Faulk,
bagging
Tory
hose.
Holt, Isaac Bruce.
Yeah, it went from bagging groceries to bagging hose.
I mean, it's a similar story.
yeah, it is pretty crazy.
Hall of Famer, D-Rock,
Very similar.
Virtually identical to Joe Rogan.
Very similar.
Dude, that virtually identical post with Pat and Sugar
Yeah.
Shawn, that fucking shit was funny, bro.
Nah, props to Remy for that.
Oh, that was Remy?
Yeah, Remy took that photo, and I came in I think that same night. He's like, "Dude, check this out." I'm like, "That's so dope."
Yo, well, the funniest thing was that both Pat and fucking O'Malley had their cornrows,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, yo, this is so fucking perfect.
Yeah, that was awesome.
If you guys were on the TV at the exact same time, that would have been fucking perfect.
Oh, I thought we were.
No.
No.
Oh, I thought you were
Oh,
too.
damn.
When I saw the picture.
Shh.
I mean,
bro.
I'm
Wow,
just
you ruined the fucking story.
Yeah, that's like I just found out Santa wasn't real.
Oh,
What?
damn.
That's
Santa's not real?
Yo, chill. We might have kids listening to this, dude.
Well, if you're listening to us, get ready to be disappointed a lot.
Yeah, what was the worst Christmas gift that you ever got in your life?
Shit.
That's a good question.
So I have one that I don't. It's not exactly a gift. So when I was young, it's probably the only like real Christmas I ever had. I remember my parents had just got back together, right? They divorced and they just got back together, and we had Christmas at the new house that we lived in. I got my dog, and I got my Dyno VFR. And if you guys know, back in the 90s, the Dyno VFR was like the goddamn bike.
GT, baby.
Yeah, dude, I was so pumped, and I ate like 3 bags of peanut M&Ms that night. I got myself super sick. I was throwing up all night, and my
It's so
parents.
funny to remember that you were a fat kid. Like, it's still so funny to me.
Yeah, it's like hard for me to imagine because I only met him like this.
I was a fat kid too.
Dude, yeah,
Really?
you're always
Yeah.
a fat kid though. That shit don't go away.
I know. Oh, trust me, I know.
But I remember like getting my dog. We got the bike, and it was like amazing. I was so happy. I stopped throwing up for like an hour because I was so pumped. And my sister was so jealous. I don't know why. I'm like, bitch, you don't ride bikes. Why do you like? So she asked to borrow my bike like 2 days later to ride to her friend's house, which was around the corner. I was like, no. And my mom and dad were like, just let her take the bike. I let her take the bike, and it got stolen.
Oh,
It got stolen that night.
dude,
So
the
I-
first fucking night? Or
Like
was
2-3 days later.
Oh
I
my
rode the bike like 2
God.
times, and it
Then
got
you
stolen.
got the Schwinn from Walmart.
I got a mongoose after that.
Oh,
Mongoose
man.
was that low
Dude,
budget.
that's hard. How bad did she feel? Like,
She
was
didn't give a
how
shit.
apologetic was she? No?
Dad pawned the bike. Let's be honest.
No, dude, my dad found out who stole the bike, dude. We found out that this guy worked at the Brookhaven movie theater. My dad rolled into the Brookhaven movie theater. He was an usher, and my dad like fucking shook this guy down, strong-armed this motherfucker, and he like played dumb or whatever. We found out the guy's address. My dad took me to his address. He lived right down the road. Showed up on the front doorstep, and my dad was like, "Give us back the fucking bike," and shook this kid down. He like played dumb. He was like probably like 16 and I was like 8 or whatever, you know. So my dad shook this guy down. He like tried to like play it off. His dad came to the door, and my dad shook the guy's father down, and the father went to the kid and was like, "Did you steal this kid's bike?" And he like broke down and was like, "Yeah, I did." He's like, "Where's the bike?" Like, "Oh, I sold it."
Oh,
He sold my bike, so we couldn't get it back, but they made him pay. He made the kid who stole my bike pay us back.
that sucks.
And then I got the mongoose instead, because the VFR that I got wasn't in
Limited.
stock. Yeah, it was like a limited edition. I couldn't get the same bike back.
It's so fucked, man.
My-
You're from getting like the best gift ever.
My worst Christmas gift ever was a chia pet.
A chia pet.
Was it like
Chia.
a cool one, like an Obama chia pet or something like that? Like,
No, it was the original
original?
like sheep.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
those
yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
dude?
of course.
I was like so pissed, man. I was like hoping for like the Ninja Turtle, like kind of like a playhouse, like the underground, like sewer.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And it was like the last present I opened. It was a box. So I was like, yo, it has to be it.
This is it.
This has to be it. And it was a fucking chia pet.
Did
bro.
you grow it?
I didn't even open it from the box, dude. That shit, whack.
Wow.
Whack. A chia pet for a 15-year-old kid, dude. Come on.
Oh, you were 15?
Yeah, I was like anywhere from like 13 to 15 years old.
You should have just
gave that to
smashed
you?
it.
My aunt.
Damn.
You know
Thanks,
what's
Aunt.
funny is when I first
Your aunt sucks, dude.
She does suck. She does suck.
when I was like really first getting into like nutrition and eating right and all that stuff, and I was eating a lot of like the chia seeds, and I was telling people about them. They're like the fucking chia pet. Like that's like what I would get every time, and I'm like, yo, you gotta put chia seeds like in your smoothies, or your shakes, whatever. They're like, chia seeds, like what, like the fucking pet? I'm like,
Dude, is that how you grow that beard?
It actually
you
is.
rub chia seeds on your face?
Chia.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, it was the worst gift ever. I'm like, what am I doing? What
That's
is
so funny.
this?
I can't think of the worst,
Me
like
neither.
specifically the worst, because like, I mean, every year
You're let down.
Yeah, it's pretty much just clothes, socks, fucking underwear. I go to my cousin's house, like, look, I got a new fucking iPad, a new this, a new that. I'm like, I got a shirt, you know.
You got a pair of socks.
But I do remember that 1 year, well, 2 years back to back, right? So I don't remember which year was first or like which order it was, but 1 year it snowed and I got a fucking bike and I couldn't ride it. And then the next year, right, I get a fucking was it a snowboard or a sled, and it didn't fucking snow.
Yeah, of course.
Oh man.
Did anybody else get super excited about the stockings when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, because you could you could dig into there before like everybody wakes up.
Yeah.
I was always like the first one to wake up, so I would go down, scope it out for myself, and then I'd wake up my brother and my sister, and we'd run down and wait for our parents.
The
and be like,
stockings
look at
were
this, look at
always
that.
like, yo, what's in the stocking?
Yeah.
It was always a small gift or something like that, and it was usually good.
Yeah.
It's usually chocolate.
Yeah, my kids get
I get a lot of
like
candy.
and shit like that, and
Like, or batteries for like whatever electronics you got.
Yeah.
I would get like
my mom still gets me
video
fucking
games.
chocolate. I'm like, I don't eat that shit.
No.
What if they were cheap
I mean, I do.
chocolates?
I'll eat it.
I do eat it, but I'm like, get it the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Only if it's got mushrooms in it, right?
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. We're
Yeah,
definitely
She
doing
wants to
that.
get
Or
me
weed.
some of them.
There you go.
Dude, that'd be. I didn't even think of that.
Hey.
I'm gonna start doing that for Taylor.
Getting like some mushroom
Mushroom chocolate, weed chocolate, all that.
Mushrooms are a very appropriate Christmas gift too.
Yeah, they are. They are. It's how Christmas
You know
is
the whole
born.
I just
So we just
Into it.
frankincense and myrrh.
Somebody just put it in the chat.
Was it in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I thought I just saw like this was like the Christmas.
It's funny
origin
when you
story.
look
Yeah,
at it.
Amanita muscaria.
Yeah, it's funny when you watch that video too, because it's like there's a lot of similarities. You know,
Yeah.
the colors of Christmas, red and white,
Santa's hat.
Santa's hat, coming down the fucking chimney with the
And
gifts.
Amanita muscaria grow under pine trees.
Yep, and they look like presents.
Reindeer eat them.
Right, reindeer eat them. They trip their balls off.
Yep, they hang them to dry, so like they're not super poisonous, which is like the ornaments in the tree.
Or the stocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I really should have watched this video. This
Yeah.
this is really
I
interesting.
read a whole book on it. It's called The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. It's a tough read.
So when
I
I'm,
think they
when I'm
talk
high as a
about
kite
it-
on Christmas Eve, like I just be like, Mom, no, this is what's supposed to happen. Like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
when
okay,
you're
actually.
high as a
Yeah.
kite jerking off on the couch, like that's exactly, it's a sex cult, a
Oh, I
Christmas sex
jerked
cult.
off in my room.
No, you gotta
next
do it on
time
the couch by the tree. That's how you really
no,
celebrate.
No, I don't want to do that. And dry the tree out.
Yeah, they didn't have tape back in the day, dude, to wrap the gifts.
It's true.
Oh.
Yeah, to make it sticky.
Hey, yo.
Yo.
Yo, isn't it funny how like you guys were just saying socks? Like when you were a kid, socks was a terrible gift. I got socks this year. I was
They're amazing.
fucking pumped.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm wearing
gosh,
a
you
pair of
guys-
socks right now. That I got.
So
I was
am
like,
I.
yo, nice.
Carhartts, baby.
I got
Are they
Stan's-
wool?
Stan socks.
No,
Okay.
no, they're cotton.
You got Stan socks on now? Stance
Yeah.
makes the most fire socks. Let me
Dude,
see
they
that.
do. These are dope.
Checking out each other's socks,
Yeah,
dude.
this is not gay.
I love socks, bro.
No, Stan-
Like,
yeah, I do
if you
too.
were a kid and you got socks, you're like, fuck. Now
Yeah,
I'm
this
fucking
fucking
30 years
sucks.
old. I'm like, word, good socks.
Dude, I was in Costco the other day and there was like Puma boxer briefs and like their socks are amazing. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll try the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever owned. I'm gonna throw out all my underwear and just replace them with these.
Yo, I kind of want to try those Me Undies.
What's that?
Super expensive.
Are they
Yeah, Tommy John, MeUndies, all the ads from the podcast, super expensive.
really?
Yeah, you took like $35 for a pair of underwear.
So
That's
we'll
your
just,
shit,
just
guys.
wait till they sponsor us. We'll
Yeah.
be-
Dude, 35 for
I'm
a
gonna
pair
hit
of
them
Podcast
up.
brought to you
just
by
for me to
MeUndies.
skid them. Just for me to skid them up. Nah, fuck that. 35.
Just to skid them up, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't even wear underwear that much. So.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Why are you going ham on the undies?
Because I might want a nice pair here and there.
Yeah.
You always have to have one or two nice pair.
Yeah.
Like I'm convinced everybody's got one good. Like if I know I'm having, I'm going out, I'm doing something, I get my good ones on, and then I have the laundry day pair. Like, oh fuck, it's time to do laundry because this is what I'm down to.
Those are usually
I
the whitey
basically-
tighties.
Yeah, you got the good
Just-
dick undies. Like,
Yeah, right. That's what I'm talking about.
The
Yeah.
fucking dick looks good in this.
Yeah,
And
how
it's
are
like-
tighty whities not like obsolete right now? I can't believe there's people still rocking them.
Yeah, it's a bad move, dude.
It is.
If
I
you're
guess it's
grown-
kind of a flex because if you keep them clean, it means like you're doing a good job.
Definitely not a flex.
No pee stain by the dick. No
Yeah.
shit stains by the ass, dude.
Yeah, white
that's
underwear in
impressive.
general. You cannot wear white underwear.
They're like
motherfuckers
throwaways.
should-
But to be honest with you, though, it's a telltale sign. Like in the morning, you're still sleeping. You go to put them on, and you got the brown in the front. You're like, oh shit, I got these things on backwards. You fucking.
now you get shit dick.
That's how you get AIDS.
Pink eye.
Yeah, right. Now you got pink eye.
That's so funny.
Gonna
What,
have a bad time.
I have no white underwear, dude.
Neither do I.
Every
Me
pair
either.
that I have is colored.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started out white though.
I'm black. I'm black and gray.
Yeah, my underwear is like my jits belt, dude. It's like all the hard times and the hard work. It just changes
Just
color.
the color.
I had these underwear.
You got
I had
skids, not stripes.
it was like
Jits
cartoon
is like one of the only
characters.
times I do wear underwear.
I had like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had Simpsons, SpongeBob.
Ooh,
like,
the Simpsons were the best.
I had
was like-
SpongeBob.
Do you have Pinocchio?
no,
That's
I
funny.
didn't. Pinocchio's nose was a lot longer. So I was hooking up with a girl and took my pants off, and I think I had like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones on, and she's like, "What the fuck are these?" I was like, "It's Raphael." And she goes, "We're not doing this," and she kind of walked out of the room. Are you serious? I swear to God. She's like, "No, I can't do it." She's like, "I can't do it.
God.
It's too fucked up."
Man, she saved you, bro. She wasn't worth it.
She wasn't worth
Right.
it.
I feel you would think a girl would be like, haha, that's hilarious.
No, she was like, "This is like weird."
Who's like, the lingerie thing? Like, who thought of that? Like, who was like, let's dress these titties up?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm all
Thank
about
you.
it, dude.
I
Yeah,
love it.
thank
Yeah,
you.
but like men don't do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no
You don't
like.
do
There's not domestic.
You didn't put
there's
a Santa hat on your cock the other night,
I told this story before about the
like a mistletoe around
Mary
it?
Dixmas.
I just put like the little ribbon on there that you put on like your gift. It's like sticky.
The little bow?
Sticky tape. Yeah, just.
With the note to try to find it under the ribbon.
But like women have all like there's all these different things that they can wear. Like
They have
guys don't
Victoria's
that.
Secret. They have a fucking whole store.
Women are a lot better looking than us. Like
I know that. I know,
like,
but I'm just saying. Like
this
I
gross appendage just hanging off your body.
I wonder like where,
It's fucking weird, man.
Appendage.
I'm just wondering like who thought of that.
A woman.
Victor.
No, it was a guy. He made the
The
store.
guy that owns Victoria's Secret.
Yeah,
right?
because he was uncomfortable like shopping like for like in like the women's department in like a store or whatever.
So he made his own?
So he made his own store. So like whatever.
Yeah,
you
didn't he have
get
a
you.
partner that killed himself? Because the guy like
He sold it. And
Oh, he killed himself,
Yeah, he
right.
killed
Okay,
himself,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
years later, it ended up being like say he sold it for $1 million, and years like not even 5 years later, it was worth like billions of
Yeah,
dollars.
wait,
and the guy
yeah,
killed
Wait,
himself.
so this guy was uncomfortable going to a regular store where there's other stuff involved.
or maybe he felt like he was having a hard time, like there wasn't anything like sexy enough.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. I'll
Because
look
I was
it
gonna
up.
say, I think it would be more intimidating going to a store where there's only women.
Yeah.
And you're picking out underwear and bras, and going to like a Target where like you could like grab a bag of chips and like quickly like grab a bra or fucking panties.
Remember
and
when you were a
shit.
kid, you like being Macy's, you'd walk into like the bra
Yeah.
aisle as a kid, like
You're like, oh.
always Copperfield the mannequin. No one's looking. You just like cup the tit real quick.
my buddy Georgie, we would go into like a the mall when we were in high school and stuff like that, and for some reason every single time we went in there, he would get thrown out of Victoria's Secret. He'd walk in and he would just start picking up panties and smelling them,
Oh my god!
and he would do it like right. We were doing it for shop value, but he's doing it right in front of the employees. And he'd be like, "No, these are no good." And like, yeah, like, no one's warned them yet. You're not gonna have a smell. Get the fuck out of here! You guys are disgusting.
Immature pricks.
Yeah, very
It's
immature.
so funny.
I mean, I'm all about the girl wearing like lingerie. Sometimes it's more fun to like imagine what she has underneath than just to be like butt ass naked.
oh yeah,
True.
I love
Yeah,
it. I
yeah.
love a good pair. I'm just like, where'd
it come from?
Yeah, like who was the first person to think of that and why? You know what I mean? Like what was the?
Yeah, how do we
I'll
go
tell
from
you.
like not wearing anything to now like
It was definitely a fat girl's husband. Because this guy was like, she would look better with clothes on, and I could pretend. I don't know exactly what's underneath.
if we strap a couple things,
Yeah.
we could pull. You
So
could
he's
pull
like,
some of that.
right? I'll
gut
tie
away.
this back. I'll put this over
take
here.
these
Put this
tits off the floor?
Right. Yeah, there you go. Push him up. Some great cleavage from a big broad. And she walks out of the room and he goes, "Fucking nailed it. Perfect.
Nailed
now
it."
she looks hot again."
But you think about it too, like even women now, like even if they're not being sexy, they would like they have underwear like that makes them feel good.
Yeah.
Like most dudes are just
Well, so
like
do I.
whatever.
My SpongeBob made me feel good, man. that would get me going.
Not
Yeah.
the same.
I think it's the same.
Like women. I know women that will literally like match their underwear to their outfits,
Yes.
even if they're not, there's no chance of them getting laid, or it's like a thing that they do. It's like part of what
That's
they
what you
do.
think.
Well, that's what they say. Like, if you bring a girl home and she's wearing like matching like bra and
Oh, she
underwear,
planned
like
on
she
fucking you.
planned on
Yeah.
like
Or
you didn't
black
you didn't-
panties too, right?
Yeah, you didn't make this decision.
she
The
planned
decision
on
was
it.
made before she even
Right.
left her
I
house.
never understood the G-string though, not the thong, but the G-string.
It's like, why are you wearing anything?
Yeah.
It's a goddamn shoelace. Like that has to be uncomfortable.
I feel like
it's
thongs have to be
it's
uncomfortable.
for literally those things were created for pants, so that you wouldn't see like the panty
Yes,
lines. That's
right.
what it is. It's just to hide.
what?
So why not wear?
So
why not
that
wear
like
nothing
you don't
see the
see the
underwear.
lines of the underwear in their pants.
If they're
That's
wearing
what
granny
created those
panties,
things.
Oh,
that's like what a
like,
thong is.
Yeah, if they're wearing like leggings
Like
or like
leggings,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
So
Yeah.
you don't see the underwear lines. That's all it's created for.
Yeah, so just don't wear
Just
anything.
don't wear anything.
I feel like it's so uncomfortable. It's got to be so. It's just like a wedgie. I found.
Yeah.
you know.
It's
And-
supposed to be comfortable.
And then it was,
Yeah,
and
they
then it
love-
was
they
a
love them.
move.
That's all- that's
Then it
all
was a
terrible.
move in like the '90s where like the pants came with the fake thong. So when
Oh, the
girl,
whale tail.
Oh,
yeah,
the
when
whale tail.
when the
Fucking
girl,
whale tails, man. So many boners in high school.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude! Yeah.
Countless boners.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I was tucking that shit into my waistband
Yep.
every other period.
that's a power move, dude.
That's
That's a
it.
power move.
Yeah.
What, the
Yeah.
tuck or the thong?
The
whale
tuck,
tail.
the tuck, you lose blood circulation to the tip of your dick, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would tuck it into my belly button because I'm like, this thing's fucking out of control right now. I'm sitting in chemistry class and I'm like, I can't stop staring at
Yeah, dude.
it. Fucking guys talking about covalent bonds, and I'm just thinking about touching the butt. you know?
Bonds, chemistry. Let's go.
But that was the thing, though. The pants were like the G-string was like sewed into the pants, so like it
Seriously?
looked like it looked like they
That's
were like
so fucking
they were
weird.
bending
Yeah,
over
that's
and the
corny.
underwear was coming out.
Wait, so it was like above the
Yeah, above the pants,
waistline?
so
Yeah.
like it looks like it's riding up.
Yeah,
That's fucking.
And then they wear
hilarious.
regular underwear on top of it. I didn't even know that was a thing.
yeah, it was a
Yeah,
thing.
so wait,
That's-
they
and how many
actually
people
wear
are-
underwear, and then they have like the fake underwear.
I would assume so. Yeah,
It's just so
So
fucked up to me
weird.
too when you think about that, because
So
it's like
stupid, right?
now you see all this like PC bullshit, like toxic masculinity, and like women boys should know not to react to things like that. If a woman wants to dress like that, boys should be taught better not
Like
to
it-
like. It's like,
like the
dude, you
gym.
do this shit on purpose. This shit was designed. They designed pants like that to make it look like your thong's popping out to be sexy, to elicit this reaction. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, same
You
thing.
know?
Same thing when the girls working out in like leggings and a sports bra,
Yeah.
and then like, why are these creeps staring at?
Yeah.
it?
It's
It's like, well, you're like
it's not for
basically wearing a
you. I
bathing
shouldn't be
suit.
ogled. Like, I want to feel good about myself.
Well,
like,
then get
yeah,
a
well,
fucking Peloton and stay home, bitch.
Yeah, like,
Did you
dude.
see the Chappelle skit where he says he talks about exactly that, and then he's like, he goes, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna dress up like a cop, and I'm gonna go on a street corner when some fucked up stuff happens. People run up to me like, officer, we need help. He's like, just because I dress this way doesn't mean you should automatically assume that I'm a police officer.
He's like, I'm sorry that your fucking tits are popping out of your
Yeah.
turtleneck. He's like, I'm sorry that I assumed you were a prostitute, and you're not because you're wearing a prostitute's outfit.
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That is fucking
That's
awesome.
Yo,
so
and
funny.
speaking of that, this is my get your weight up, not your hate up. Alexa
segue.
showed me this thing on TikTok. This is a thing that's going around on TikTok. There's a filter that makes a woman look like she got hit, like black eye cut.
What?
And there's a TikTok thing that's going around where these women will use that filter and send the photo to their boyfriends or husbands and be like, yo, I got into something today. Like the one that she showed me that I guess started was like this woman saying that she was at like Macy's and a security guard shoved her and hit her. And it was like, the reactions, this guy's like, I'm on my fucking way. And it's like all these texts of him flipping out, like, yo, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. And then it's like, oh, ha, ha, just kidding. And I'm like, yo, you see all this shit about like toxic masculinity and how awful this is. But this is literally a challenge from women to elicit that reaction, right? Because if a girl shows that to their significant other and he's not like, yo, I'm going to be there in a minute and fuck this guy up, then it's like, yo, what's wrong with your boyfriend? How come he doesn't want to protect you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not really about that though. Like this whole like guys have to like dumb down their masculinity. It's just the guys behind the scene, the government trying to make it so we're.
But there's so many women that buy into
the
that
women
shit
still
though,
want
too.
it though. The women still want it.
But there's a lot of women that talk about this toxic masculinity shit. It's like, but then on the other hand, you
Yeah,
got
they're all
this
fat cunt
challenge.
feminists.
Yeah,
Yes.
but with,
Sorry.
you're not going to hear them. You're not going to hear.
Tits and tits, baby.
You're right, but you're not going to hear
Nothing's
those.
off limits.
You're not going to hear those assholes decry this challenge, right?
Oh no, definitely not. No,
And it's fucked up. And like George fucking Carlin said it best. He's like, how come? It's like all the women that are against abortion are chicks you wouldn't want to fuck in the first place.
George Carlin was the man.
The man.
What do you say
Yeah,
to a
awesome.
woman with two black eyes?
Nothing you haven't told her twice.
Right. She should have listened the first time.
I just think it's fucked up. It just shows you how stupid all
Yo,
this shit is.
Yeah.
that's gonna get someone's ass whooped.
Dude, so she tells me
Whooped.
she was gonna play this joke, and she's
On
like,
you?
Yeah, she was
Oh
at work.
my God.
And she was gonna do it, and I guess one of her friends.
Shit pipe came over and
So she was gonna do it, and she was talking to one of her friends, another teacher, and her teacher was like, "Do you really think that that's a good idea?" She's like, "You're gonna."
Get
Play
him all
this
fired
joke
up.
on your boyfriend who's like a fighter, like he's gonna go to prison. Like not a good move.
Yeah, and what's going to happen is she's going to play the joke, and then her phone's going to die.
yeah.
I'm just
And our group chat's gonna go off. It's D-Rock's like, yo, I'm about to get in some shit. And everybody shows up. There's like 10 people there.
We all roll up to Canaan Elementary. Like, where's the security guard? Because she was going to tell me that a security guard did. I was like, yeah, dude. Good thing your friend told you not to do this. Like, that's
seriously.
It's insane that her friend even had to like set her straight. Like, like light bulb. Like, I can't believe they should just get rid of that filter altogether because it's only going to cause problems.
It is
That's
Nothing
exactly what I said. I'm like, this is only going to cause trouble. This is going to end up getting, like Nick said, someone's going to do it. Their phone's going to die, and some fucking poor boyfriend or husband's going to roll up somewhere and beat the brakes off of somebody.
Yeah, and go to jail for something that
over TikTok.
Yeah. It's so weird. Like, how's that even funny?
That's what I said. I'm like, yo, there's nothing funny about that.
No.
That shit's not funny.
Do you think, like, say that did happen, like, would you have any sort of way to get out of going in jail?
No.
No.
Because there was
right?
that guy in, I think it was Oregon. Some dude kidnapped his daughter, sold her into like the sex trade. And I think the girl was 17 or 18. She had a boyfriend that was either 18 or 19. And the girl kind of like disappeared for a couple of days. And then they found out what had happened. She had gone, she was like a state or two away. And the guy like sold her into sex slavery, essentially. The dad fucking found the boyfriend, killed him, put him in the trunk of a car. Had his
Wait, the boyfriend did this?
The boyfriend did it, yeah.
Oh.
And they found out that and they knew it happened. So the dad found the boyfriend, kidnapped him, tied him up, beat the balls off him, killed him, called his buddy and said, I need you to take this car and drive it to another state or whatever. They drove the car to the other state. Police found it. The guy obviously didn't watch a lot of CSI, got caught. And so they're in like, they said the interrogation didn't last long at all. He was like, yeah, no, I killed that motherfucker. And they're like, okay. And like, why? He kidnapped my daughter, he sold her into sex slavery. She did that for a couple of days. Like, he tried to take my daughter from me. He's like, I'll spend the rest of my life in prison. Don't give a fuck. He's like, you goddamn right I did. And he's like, I'd do it again. And all like, I saw this article and all the comments were, it was like, please put me on that jury. Please put me on that jury. Does this guy have a defense fund? I want to contribute to it. And listen, if it was one of my kids,
oh yeah,
like figure, like, you're not getting out of it. That guy's going to jail for a long. He's going to jail for murder, premeditated murder, and.
Me and Nick, we were talking about this not too long ago. The guy in Texas back in like the early 80s. His son got kidnapped by this guy who started some type of cult thing. The guy kidnapped this guy's son, molested him or whatever.
He was like a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, and it was, dude, this was live on TV. They were bringing, they found the guy who kidnapped this guy's son. They were bringing him. It was in an airport. He was getting off the plane. There was like a big national story. So
didn't he shoot him?
Yeah, the father's on a payphone. They're walking this guy off the plane. He's surrounded by cops. The guy turns around, blows this guy's brains out on fucking television.
Wow.
And the guy got off. It was in Texas. They tried him in Texas. He got off.
Crime of passion or something.
Temporary insanity or something
temporary
like that.
insanity.
I don't remember what it was, but he got off. He got like a
slap on
some
the
type
wrist.
of manslaughter charge. Didn't spend a day in jail.
No.
Wow.
And
Community service.
yeah, and like, dude, but
Taking that guy out was community service.
you
Absolutely.
can Google the video and watch it happen. It was,
I can't watch that
and,
crap.
but because it was in Texas,
insane.
basically
That's crazy.
Texas was like, yeah, no, fuck that guy. He got what he deserved.
Yeah.
And he got off.
Do you think that's where like
That's good, though. That's how it should be.
punishment wise? Do you think it's worse? I feel like it's like kind of like the easy way out for the criminal. Like I feel like it's worse to be like behind bars for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
as a father, I would want to kill, but I'm saying
then you're paying for him.
For me personally,
You know?
like I feel like it'd be worse to be in prison for the rest of my life than have someone just end it.
I don't know.
It
No,
depen-
I see it from both sides because like he's in jail for the rest of his life. It's like who
He
knows
doesn't-
what's going down
He
in
doesn't even
jail.
deserve to live. He doesn't deserve to have like a single like happy moment in his life for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and the guys in jail are going to handle it the way they handle it anyway.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I like how they do that though. Like they if they know you're in there for like rape or like some kind of like pedophilia, like they fucking just beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah, and they probably do a lot of other shit. But supposedly this guy that D-Rock was talking about too, he didn't just like rape this kid. Like it was like some fucked up shit they said in the story. It was fucked up.
He was kidnapped for like some cult thing and sexually assaulted. It was fucked up. But like what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, but I also feel like I don't know, man.
Like you
it's
should
like,
drag it out a little bit.
if it was me, if I
torture.
was a father, I'd feel like I'd want to be the hammer of justice. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy's gonna get fucked up in prison, but like I'd want it to come from me.
And these guys always get out too. Like, oh, they get out on good behavior. Like, you're supposed to be in jail for 25 years, but they let you. You're eligible for parole after 10, and then
Did you ever see that movie?
Oh yeah, Law Abiding Citizen with Gerard Butler.
Yeah, like that
movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that movie isn't coming up a lot lately.
Yeah,
Actually.
but it's good. It's on Netflix right now. Yeah, I just rewatched it.
Is it? I haven't seen it in like
dude, it's good.
forever.
It's crazy.
But like that's the whole premise, right? Like there's two plaintiffs or whatever, and like the lawyer's like, we can only get this one, and this is like a good deal, otherwise they're both gonna walk because of like circumstantial evidence or whatever, and it's like, all right, but like it's not really justice, you know what I mean? Like you feel like they should really get what they deserve, kind of thing.
But for like lesser crimes, it's so insane to me that like you're supposed to be reformed after you go to prison. Like that's the whole thing. Like you're supposed to come out there with like a clean slate. But it's insane to me that like convicts aren't allowed to vote ever again. I'm like, what? Like, you're supposed to be reformed. You went to prison, you did your time. Now you're supposed to be like a regular person again, and like they're never allowed to vote like ever again. Yeah,
it's like only if you're a felon.
Yeah, if you're a felon.
A lot of states are changing that law though.
Yeah, because like, why should they not be allowed to vote? Like they're members of society now.
Way back in the day, it used to be voting was like a privilege.
Yeah,
you know, instead of being like some people, they consider it like a nuisance, if you will. But it was a right that we had and a privilege that we had here and in other democratic countries. So it was always like, no, you fucked up in society, like we're taking that away from you. And now it's the point where people are like, it's not that special anymore to be able to vote, and it should be, really should be, you know, to live in a democratic society. So they were like, yeah, no, that's the whole reason that behind it, that they didn't allow them to vote, because it was like taking away that privilege and right. And I think we're at the point now where like nobody gives a fuck. The only problem is they're going to come out and vote Democrat. That's going to be a problem.
Well, that's what.
All right, never mind. Then don't let them vote.
The idea behind what you're saying, Terrence, makes sense, because like I agree. Like especially now, like this whole cancel culture thing. Like at what point can anybody be redeemed? Like there's got to be a path to redemption.
That just reminded me of something.
But like that's the thing, man. This going to prison doesn't redeem you. You don't get rehabilitated. No. There's no such thing. If anything, it makes you worse. It reinforces it.
You go in as a criminal, you become out. You come out a better criminal.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, like if there was an actual system set up where like if you fuck up in society, you go away, you pay your debts, and you actually come out rehabilitated, I would agree. Like, yeah, restore these people their rights. And it's fucked up because there's some people that go to prison that do change it around, but they're scarred. They're marred for the rest of their lives. You come out of prison, you're not getting a job ever again because you got that fucking mark on you. Like nobody's hiring felons. You know what I mean? It's like it's really hard for you to integrate back into society. It's fucked.
They make it very difficult.
Some guys spend so much time in jail that when they come out, it's almost like
they want to go back.
They go back.
They're institutionalized.
They don't know how to live on the outside.
Yeah. Brooks, that's crazy.
Brooks he had to kill himself.
What a fucking movie, dude. Brooks from Shawshank Redemption.
He never saw the movie, so don't even bother.
One of the greatest, one of the greatest movies of all time.
He's seen 3 movies in his life.
Phenomenal.
Never seen it.
Bro, it's legitimately one of the best movies you will ever watch.
I'm coming. I'm bringing
awesome
you to your
scene in
house,
the shower.
and we're watching it.
It's great. I love it.
What movie is this?
Is this the movie where the guy like shakes the sand out the bottom of his leg?
Yes. Yeah.
He like chips away to escape.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Spoiler alert.
And somehow
never seen it.
Somehow puts the poster back on the wall from the inside of the wall.
Doesn't he make like
He's such an idiot.
Does he make like a fake body and put it in his bed and shit?
No, that was Escape from Alcatraz.
Oh, okay.
Home Alone
with Clint Eastwood.
Dude, Home Alone's a good movie.
Dude, I watch
This guy's seen fucking Home Alone, but not Shawshank.
Dude, Home Alone's a fucking great movie.
Dude, Home Alone. I was watching it last night, and like when
who wasn't watching it last night?
When Dave asked like what was the worst Christmas present you've ever gotten, like he's super scared of his neighbor, like the old man with the beard, and he's in the church, and the neighbor walks up to him and starts talking to him.
Alert.
Yeah, wait, it's not a big deal. If you haven't seen Home Alone,
I'm kidding, bro.
But I was joking about spoiler alert with Shawshank. Everybody's seen it too. But he's talking about like how much he misses his granddaughter and how he mailed her a check. He's like, that's nice. He's like, last year my grandma knitted me a sweater with a big bird on it. Yeah. And he's like, oh, that's a nice gift. He's like, not for a 7-year-old. He's like, a guy like me could get beat up for wearing something like that.
You're wearing that very similar type of sweater right now.
Dude, this sweater is fucking, it goes back and forth. Look,
that's so funny.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
That's so fucking funny. Now I'm back naughty for the boys.
All right, you just redeemed yourself.
It's like Ralphie from the Christmas Story.
Yeah.
His fucking aunt sews him that like pink rabbit.
Rabbit suit.
Did you know that he's in the movie Elf?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's one of the elves of the North Pole.
Yo, now speaking of Elf, great segue. They're
Business
actually
Insider?
no, they're actually trying to cancel
Yeah,
Elf.
Business Insider wrote the
Oh,
wrote the
yeah,
article.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, for making fun of like
Small people.
No, mentally retarded or handicapped adults.
Yeah.
Saying that Buddy is handicapped, and the whole movie we're just laughing at him for being that.
yeah.
Get the fuck out
Yeah.
of here.
Yeah, you didn't
so
see I sent it
insane.
in the group chat.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
Yeah.
With
What
Prez.
the
Dude, they
fuck?
tried
Yeah.
canceling Prez too.
Barstool said
Yeah.
posted about it.
That's
Yeah, 'cause
fucking ridiculous.
They tried to cancel him. It didn't work. And then they had this out there, and Portnoy lost his mind and was like, first you came for me. He's
so
like,
funny.
nobody said anything, but now you're coming for Elf. He's like, that was wrong.
Yeah, the best is when he's like, these aren't people. He's like, these are fucking scumbags.
Yeah, dude, he's hilarious. But they try. This whole situation is so crazy to me. They try to cancel Prez like a couple times a year, and it's just like you can't do it. Like just give
Right.
up.
Prez?
But
No,
yeah,
Prez.
Prez, David
Portnoy.
Portnoy. He's named like
El Presidente.
Oh, okay.
But he there's like this psycho fantasy, and it's more common, like it's some kind of like psychological thing, but like some women have a fantasy of being like raped, like where they're not in control, and it's like a big thing. So they tried to cancel him. This woman tried like basically giving him like rape allegations, but like there's text messages between them that he's like, oh, what are your fantasies, like let me know. And she's like, oh, I had this one fantasy, it's pretty common, where like
Everybody's doing
I'm
it.
not in control, and like I'm being like raped, and like there's nothing I could do. So then he goes, they meet up, they have like rough sex, and he basically like fucking, I don't know,
Body slams her.
no, he didn't body slam her, like he didn't punch her and shit, but he just had like
Slaps her around a
he
little
just
bit.
had like rough sex with her, and then she tried coming forth with like rape allegations, and it's kind of like
You
I
told
don't
me to
know.
rape you.
Yeah, it's just so
Do you
insane.
ever have a girl say it to you? Say like that's what she's into?
Yes.
Yeah. Scary
Yeah,
shit.
first time I was like,
not
yeah.
doing that. I'm
Nope.
too much of a pussy for that.
I told her no. I told this girl no.
Sorry, sweetheart. You're gonna be disappointed.
Bro, I met this girl. She's like, "Oh, you do jiu-jitsu, so you're like really good at choking, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, tells me like basically she like, I like it rough, like wants me to like, rough her up a little bit. And I was like, "Yo, I'm not leaving any marks on you. We just met.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know you well enough. Like, I'm not leaving a mark
and then all of a
on
sudden you get
Start
like
hitting her with a fucking pillow
knock
and
on your
shit.
knock on your door the next day, and like they're fucking
Yeah.
coming to take you away.
I'm not leaving a fucking mark on you."
Yeah, it's like
fuck
that
that.
has to be
I'd be
hard
like,
for
hey,
like people who are like celebrities.
A
Like
month
hook it
later, I
up.
definitely left marks on her, but
Yeah.
after we built the trust.
We were in the trust tree then.
When you're getting into the
You
NFL,
need like a fucking contract before you do that.
Yeah. Fuck that.
When you go into the NFL, you get like kind of like educated
training?
They have you take classes, like, and they actually like for like managing your money and like handling yourself, because like you're gonna be under like a fucking spotlight for like the next 10, 15 years.
That broad called out DK Metcalf this year.
He's big, bro. He fucking if he pokes you, you might bruise up.
He was DMing with this girl on either Twitter or Instagram, and the girl was hot, and she's like she's one of those athlete fuckers. So he's talking to her, and it was
Brittany
like,
Renner?
it was like
Fuckers.
9 or 9:30 at night or something like that, and he was saying like, hey, you want to meet up? And then she said, okay, I don't know, like I'll be there later or something. So then he shot her a message like 10 o'clock and was like, you know what, forget it. He's like, it's not gonna work. I have to go to bed soon. So about she gets pissed off. She's like, I'm on my fucking way. I can't believe you. I'm like a half hour away. So then I want to say a couple minutes later, he texts her back, you know what? Just keep driving. If you didn't turn around, just keep driving, come over. He's like, I just met 2 honeys at the bar. He's like, I'm trying to get a foursome tonight.
That's fucking amazing.
So the girl puts all his text messages like on blast and posts them, and then goes on, and she did like a vlog or like a live thing on either TikTok or Instagram, calling him out for being a scumbag or whatever. Thought she was gonna cancel DK Metcalf.
Everyone's like,
and
this
everybody was
guy's
like, he's a single guy. You're all over his like, and the messages that she was posting, like, you're in this dude's DMs, like asking for it. So the girl, he met 2 girls that want to fuck him in a bar, and was on his way home. Was like, hey, why not a third? Where is he wrong? He didn't do anything wrong in any of the situations. So she thought she was coming out and canceling this guy, and everybody was like, I can't blame him. Like, of course he wants to get laid.
Yeah.
I
Of course, he would love
bet
3 chicks.
you 4 girls hit him up or 3 girls hit him up.
Oh, absolutely. So
After
then,
that.
so now this girl who loves to fuck athletes, everybody's like, yo, fuck this girl. She's gonna you piss her off one night, she's gonna put you on blast and post every one of your DMs and
That's it.
Dude, Brittany Renner. Was it Brittany
she-
Renner? Because
No.
she's the one who does that. Like she fucks all these athletes.
Oh,
I don't know.
Brittany, she's just like some Instagram like
Yeah.
Whore.
Yeah,
Yep.
total
Yeah,
whore.
she just like banged some like basketball player, got pregnant,
Yeah.
and then within a couple months,
exactly.
fucking
All the child support
Yep,
and shit.
split, and he's like paying out his ass.
Yeah, they
That's
like,
crazy.
totally like fucking them. Did you guys see this? It kind of went viral, I think this week or the week before, the NYPD like rookie cop, and she was like twerking and giving like a lap dance to like a higher up, like a lieutenant or sergeant at the Christmas party.
That shit was fucking hot.
And he's married, and this girl is like, bro, she's wearing a tiny little skirt, and it is a straight up lap dance. And now they're both in like super hot water because he's a married guy, and it's just super unprofessional. So like, I think he got placed on like suspended like leave or something, and
he's getting paid though.
I don't know what's gonna happen with her because she just got on the force, and like, but at the same time, it's like
she's gonna get promoted.
Yeah, but they're both adults though, so like, yes, it's inappropriate, but like, I don't think it warrants losing your job over. Like,
No, I don't think they will.
like,
If it's consensual, why not?
Yeah, it was consensual. He's sitting there having the time of his life.
Well,
and
the problem is, did you see this dude's wife?
No.
She's a fucking pig.
Oh, that's the problem right
So
there.
she came out and like lost her shit about it, and
Wasn't she there? Like, it was a Christmas party.
no, I don't think she was there. No, I think it was just like a precinct thing.
And what's going on, like, why are you pulling like the video camera out for that? Like, if people get wild, it's known that people get wild at Christmas parties and do inappropriate shit.
Yeah, fuck
So,
those
like,
people with the phones and the tablets and stuff that want to record and post everything. You guys are fucking idiots. The kids,
Did
my
you see the
son,
video
his
though?
friends-
That she was hot.
She was so hot, so hot. Did I see the video? I watched it 10 times.
Yo, she was like a fucking 10.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
this. What is
and
it?
she gave a hell of a lap
Just
dance.
type in like
Yeah, she
NYPD. If you write NYPD rookie, it'll
Google?
probably be the first. Yeah,
Dude,
Google NYPD rookie.
she put
like,
it on
lap
that
dance.
motherfucker too.
Oh my god, she was throwing it back. She must have been a stripper.
And
like,
she was a cop too.
yes,
And
like she
this
just got out of
rookie-
the academy.
Like whoever recorded that, it's obviously done from a cell phone. Like fuck that guy or girl,
Yeah.
whoever it is. Like that.
What a piece of
Put
shit.
your phones
Stitches
away,
get
man.
stitches, man.
It's like I'm going to Ireland in March, and I've
Where are you
been
going?
Ireland.
No, where?
Dublin.
Oh, really? That's
We'll
where
go-
my family's from.
We're going to County Cork. That's where my family was originally from. So we're doing that for a day and a half, and then we're going to Ireland, Dublin for St. Patrick's Day.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
sweet.
gonna be fucking amazing.
It should be pretty cool. So I've gone to a bunch of bachelor parties. We've done fucking New Orleans. We've done Austin, Florida, Montreal.
Montreal's dope, right?
Yeah, Montreal's amazing. I'll go right now.
Ooh, this whore.
But it was
I'll go right
she's
now.
kinda hot.
Dark hair.
Yeah.
It was like we always had one rule, and it was no phones allowed. I mean, Johnny LaFleur came with us. Government name out there. He came with us to his brother's bachelor party down in New Orleans, and we were getting messages from people thinking that Johnny was kidnapped and like, what'd you do to him? Because he is one of those guys. At that time, he was posting every day. He would post 10 times a day on social media. It was like Facebook was big, so like he hasn't posted anything in a day and a half. Like something's wrong.
Something's up.
Like give him his phone back. And no, but everybody, all our wives, were watching his feed because they knew he would be posting the entire time. But we told him, like, don't you fucking post anything. Like threatened his
It
life.
had to be killing him.
Yeah. Oh, he was dying. He came home and he had like 1,000 pictures. We posted one fucking picture that whole weekend. We were at the bar where they served those hurricane drinks on bourbon.
Those are so good.
So there was like, I think there was 6 of us, and we're all sitting around a table, and we probably had about 37 empty glasses on the table of those hurricane drinks. So we asked one person, just take a picture. They take a picture, and all of a sudden, somebody posted and was like, look, we're all alive. Everything's great. We'll see everybody in like, a day or two, whenever we were coming home. 10 minutes later, my buddy's phone starts going fucking crazy.
Oh,
So
no.
like, what the fuck?
Oh, I think I've heard this story.
And he's like, I got 5 missed calls and a bunch of texts from my wife. What could this be about? She looked at the picture and zoomed all the way in.
Yeah, I remember this.
In the extreme corner of the picture.
Bag of coke.
No.
A hand, right?
A fucking finger.
Oh.
Not even a whole finger. The tip of a finger. It was a female finger. No nail polish, no crazy nail, but it was a female fit, the pinky. Jonathan had met a girl down there who flew down there with her boyfriend for work. Boyfriend was in meetings and whatnot all day long. Jonathan had nothing to do. Didn't really hang out the same spots we were hanging out in. So he went shopping with this girl like twice during the week that we were there. And she had met us over at the thing while she was waiting for her boyfriend to get done. Now, none of us had really ever talked to the girl, but we were taking the picture. She was standing behind us, and she had put her finger, like she was just laying there, just on the dude's fucking shoulder, my buddy's shoulder. His wife saw the picture, zoomed all the way in,
Psycho.
saw it was a female finger, and lost her mind. He had to go home. He's like, I got to go home. He said, I don't have to fly home. She's so pissed at me. She's coming here.
Are you serious?
That's crazy.
What's going on with you two?
D-Rock sound like a murderer breathing into the mic.
I look over, he's like dying laughing at me. I'm like, what is going
I
on?
can see
I'm
what
like-
Nick,
I'm like-
Nick's like losing it.
I'm like,
Nick's
who the
what?
fuck is that? And there's D-Rock listening to it.
He's on the edge of his seat like,
He is, exactly. That's all I heard.
that's fucking
Well,
great.
I'm looking at him, he's dying laughing, and he's like this.
I'm like, you're sucking dick.
Like, what's going on?
I was like,
Fucking losing it.
I was
So
like,
the
the
guy-
end of the story's not that great, Nick. Like, I don't know what you're getting for.
Wait, so the guy got he had to cut his trip short? and
No,
go
he
home?
didn't cut it short. He went home a day earlier than us, but he was doing that anyway.
Teary-eyed.
And, he had to send her away on a trip within like a month. To, like,
Wow.
And he had not even met the girl, but I was like, holy fuck, she should be a detective. This is
Yeah,
good.
dude.
I know, but
They're like
I know,
that,
but that's
bro.
like that's like way too insane for me because like it's not like it was like him like getting a lap dance or fucking.
It was a pinky in the
It was just
picture.
a pinky in the picture. Like you expect that like we're not going to talk. Like
Yeah,
you
but
know
this-
you're friendly. You say hello to people.
She's
if you
also
make
the
eye
one,
contact
she
with them,
smelled his dick one night.
What?
All right.
Yeah.
So, hopefully the wife doesn't listen to this
So
podcast
there's-
because now he's going to be going on another
So
trip.
there's trust issues
To
in
the
this
fucking-
situation.
Speaking of which,
attorney.
there's another TikTok thing. I got shown this the same time I got shown that other TikTok challenge. There's a TikTok thing going around that some woman did. She thought her husband was cheating on her, so she took a picture, put it on the nightstand with some strands of her hair, and was like, "Oh, if I come home and this picture is moved and the hair's off it, I know my husband's cheating." And this was like a thing that was supposed to go around like to catch your husbands or whatever. And everyone was like, "Yo, it's time to get divorced because you have no trust. Like this is
Yeah.
nuts. Like you're
What if
fucking
he just
bananas."
cleans up like ew? There's
Yeah.
a clump of hair with this like weirdo picture.
Yeah.
Like what's going on?
Like, what are we doing? Dude, I remember I was dating this girl and I had blue sheets and she had blonde hair. And I remember the first time she slept over, she was like, "I'm really glad you have blue sheets." I was like, "Why?"
So she'd see the hair.
Yeah, she's like, "So any other girl that comes here will see my hair."
Oh my
She's like,
god.
"And they'll know right away." And I
Right.
was like, "Yeah, cool. We're done."
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Nice
just gonna
knowing
choke
you.
you out one more time and then we're done.
You're gonna get it rough one more time.
Yo, I just watched that twerking video or the
Yeah.
Yo, he
Dude.
was enjoying it.
Oh, yeah.
What did
Yeah, I know,
Now
but I'm
Google a
saying,
picture of
like-
his wife and you'll see why he was
Really?
enjoying that.
Oh,
she
she's
was
a
going,
hose beast.
She was going in, and her skirt was so tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, her underwear is showing the whole time. Like, yeah, she was fucking letting it rock.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
enjoying herself
Yeah.
too.
She
I
was
know, what
looking for
is-
promotion.
I don't know what she's thinking though,
She
because
got-
like you're
she
just
got
making
a
a fool out
raise,
of
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She got a raise out of him, but like I don't know what she was thinking. Like I don't
She was
know.
thinking, we're having drinks, we're hanging out, I'm going to have a good time. The girl likes to have a good time.
Yeah.
We don't kink shame here. We don't slut shame.
Nah.
You know, let
No,
that
we
girl be her.
promote.
It's
Yeah,
just
you
exactly,
do you,
man.
sweetheart.
promote.
We love them hoes.
That's right.
Dude, there's a place for women
wanna-
like that everywhere.
Yeah, you want to put your handcuffs on me? By all means.
Yeah, she was small body too.
Dude, she threw
Pull a
it
gun
back,
out,
though.
put it, yeah, we'll play with that.
Just make sure the safety's
on.
on.
What? Don't get me started on the taser.
But that's the problem with today though. Everyone has a fucking phone with
Yeah.
a camera. Nothing stays under wraps anymore.
You can't even do fucking ding dong ditch anymore.
Yeah, everyone's going to fucking
With the
ring.
ring
Camera.
Yep.
Think about all the shit we did growing up, all the fucked up stuff we did growing up. Like, you can't do that stuff now.
No,
Like,
no.
if somebody would have had the stuff that we pulled when we were in high school in the football locker room, or Jesus Christ, you weirdos in the wrestling locker room.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if there was a camera
it's
or
true.
someone pulled the camera, like, forget about it.
Yeah, we'd all be
Dude, half the conversations we have here or after jiu-jitsu, forget it. We don't
Yeah.
get canceled.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I'm surprised the podcast is still going.
Yeah, all the ding dong ditch, dude. Blasting cars with snowballs. And
Yeah.
fucking
Gnoming.
gnoming. What's
What the
that?
fuck is that?
Around like Christmas time, you go around and take people's fucking Christmas like
Ornaments? Yeah.
ornaments, like
Yeah.
off the tree, off the lawn.
Yeah,
set them up on someone else's lawn, like in their neighborhood, so they see him. What the fuck is this? Like,
That's good.
This asshole stole my stuff. No, we didn't. We did, and we put it on there.
That's good.
Sure.
Flying by in the car with like a garbage pail you picked up from down the block.
Yeah, and launch
Throwing
it.
it
Yeah.
at someone's mailbox
Yeah.
and
We should
shit.
go
me
on
and,
like treasure hunts. Like you'd go through town and like you'd have things you'd have to collect. Like, all right, you got to get one inflatable
Yeah.
snowman,
Yep.
and you bring it all back.
Yeah, that was fun. They like scavenger hunts.
Yes,
Yeah, scavenger
yeah.
hunts.
Right.
Treasure
Me
hunt.
and-
Treasure hunt.
Me and my buddy in the scavenger hunt, we put on fucking over on North Ocean where Kmart used to be,
no.
across from like Applebee's, the
Yeah,
63 Park and Ride.
Yeah, it's LA Fitness now. Used to be Kmart.
Park and Ride, that's a pickle farm.
LA Fitness is next to where Kmart is. Kmart is
pickle
now Burlington.
Regardless, okay, so
Yeah, all right,
Kmart.
yeah, exactly. So regardless, we put on fucking football helmets and like hockey gloves and just started beating the fuck out of each other in the middle of Kmart. Like that was like one of the things we had to like do a fight in a store.
Oh my
So
god.
dude, like 30-second timer, and I remember just closing my eyes and just starting to go.
Oh my god, dude.
Someone get the retarded kids in aisle 7, please.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry, we don't say that word either.
dude,
I
it's
Clean,
like
apologize.
clean up in aisle 7. Clean up in aisle 7.
We
Yeah.
got this one guy, Mongo. We put him in the cage. We let him out an hour a day.
Those retards just make me so happy.
Oh my god. Yeah, but that's the problem with today, man. Kids can't get away with shit.
Well, they're fucking retarded, man. There we go again.
There we go.
They're idiots. They literally record and post everything, and they don't expect that, like, oh, I posted on Snapchat. Well, guess what, stupid? We're friends on Snapchat because I came up with a different name, put a chick there with tits, and you're like, oh, I'll definitely be friends with her. Like, so I'm seeing everything you're posting. You morons.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had a lacrosse team a couple of years ago in Lindenhurst got in trouble because they were all drinking on the bus on the ride back from the game. It was like the last game of the season, so they would tell our second to last game of the season. So they decided we're gonna sneak some booze on the bus and drink on the way back. As they're doing it, they're posting it to Facebook, not thinking that anyone's going to see it or anything like that. So a bunch of kids got suspended. The coach got in a shitload of trouble, lost his job over it.
Dry snitch.
That was like fucking.
We call that dry snitching.
The fuck is the bar over here in Patchogue during the fucking lockdown?
Tiki.
Oh yeah,
No, Dublin Deck.
Yeah, Double Deck.
back, yeah.
Like,
People posting videos of them there, like,
yeah.
Well, we had it
Chilling.
here, same exact thing.
well, yeah.
Well, right, because after Dublin Deck got caught, their excuse was great though. They had a packed out bar, they had a DJ
was
playing,
raining.
and it was like, well, we had everybody outside and they were picking up to-go food. It started pouring, so we let everybody come inside. So you let everybody come inside, but you had a fully staffed bar with like 4 different bartenders on. You had a DJ, but it was everything was all of a sudden because of a rainstorm that came out of nowhere. Bullshit. So then a couple
They were
nights
just
later,
prepared.
Yeah, prepared. Yeah. No, it's great. I, as a bartender, I would love just sitting there waiting, just hoping it might rain so everybody will come inside. But people, we weren't allowed to have more than, I think it was like 7 or 8 people in here at one time. We were supposed to be closing at 10 o'clock, and next thing you know, it was like 30 people here one night. It was like 12:30 at night, and I'm watching a bunch of jerk-offs
Take videos.
take videos and pictures. I was like, "What are you doing? Don't post that." Like,
I remember that night.
like, what? So I had to explain to them why they can't. I said, a bar literally just got put in the paper and has gotten fined $10,000.
Oh, Dublin Deck.
Yeah. So I said, and now you idiots are trying to do that here. Like, well, no one's gonna see it. Then why post it if no one's gonna see it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got a bunch of people here. If this place gets closed down, are gonna be very fucking pissed at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well tell you beat up your girl with a black eye.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the same people knocking on your door. Pissed off at you.
Yeah, serious. Yeah, people are retarded. They really are.
Whoa, you can't say that word, man.
It's the best word, dude.
It is.
When someone says that, like, I got away from it because my buddy Max, he works with special needs kids, and like he told me it was real bad, so I stopped saying it for years. And then I was at he started calling me, and I have nothing to say. Back when someone calls you a retard, it's like, shit, man, you got
But
me.
you've never called a retard a retard.
No,
right?
that's what Michael Scott says. You don't call a retarded person retarded. It's bad taste. You call your friends retarded when they're acting retarded.
But it's true. I've never called a gay person a fag in my life.
Never.
No.
I've called every one of my friends a fag.
Yes. Yeah.
Louis C.K.'s got a whole skit
One
about
time,
that.
I came in here one time, and it was like just you guys and Johnny's working. I'm like, yo, what's up, queers?
I did call
And
my
I'm like,
uncle.
oh shit. I'm like,
I
sorry.
did call my uncle. I was trying to prove a point. I called my uncle a fag at Thanksgiving. It didn't go over well, and he's a gay guy. I was trying to prove a point, but the point was
What point?
so I had
Then
said,
it's just a word. It's just a
right.
word.
That's what I was trying to say because I had said the word retard, and they were like, oh, so your cousin takes offense to that. I said, why? Like, well, she had a learning disability in school, and she was kind of labeled as retarded. And I was like, she's not retarded. I've known her whole life. She's actually very bright, beautiful girl. I said, I don't understand. I said, that's just a word. And like, well, it's kind of offensive to her. I was like, that's like me turning to my uncle here and say, you're a fag. I ruined Thanksgiving dinner. And he goes, there's no more offensive word to say to me or to call me or to say in my presence than that word. I was like,
That's too sensitive. I feel like you have to have thick
well,
skin.
that's what I say.
Like,
And now he's not like that at all. Like, if you met him, I didn't know he was gay until I was 21.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't know. 23 years old. And I was like, holy, like, he went to my son's birthday party and he brought a date. But he brought his buddy, who was very flamboyant. And then everybody left, and I was like, I was talking to my father. I was like, you find it weird that he brought a gay guy to the party? That was kind of strange, right? So my father's looking at me going, are you retarded? So then my brother comes over, and I asked my brother, I'm like, don't you find it weird that he brought a gay guy to the party? He's like, why?
I said, you retarded?
He's like, they're gonna go. They're going out. I was like, yeah, I know. He was telling me they're going out to a club after here. I was like, but it was weird that he would just, whatever. He can hang out with who he wants to hang out with. So they're both looking at me with that, like, how your dog looks at you sometimes, like, that cockeyed look. So they're looking at me, like, you don't know? I like, know what? They're like, uncle, he's gay. I was like, oh.
It all makes sense.
And then
now.
you start thinking about, like,
all these flashes of images come in your head from Christmases ago and Thanksgivings.
Shit, he's never had a girrlfriend. He, like, his room when we were growing up, he was one of the youngest, so we were super young. We would go over there and hang out. His room was nothing but like naked girls and girls in bikinis, and it was almost like to the point, if you saw it now, you'd be like, oh, this guy's definitely gay.
Yeah.
It was like overcompensating to the max, and it was like, oh fuck,
Sean's
this
like, I
all
am
makes sense.
retarded.
Took me forever. I had no idea. And like you wouldn't know he was gay, but apparently the word fag really bothered him. I was like, oh, okay, I will not say that
Well,
around
that's
you
the
anymore.
whole thing. It's like when it's individualized like that, then yeah. But like you said, like you don't say retard to a retarded person. You don't call gay people faggots. It's like when it's directed, intent matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
When I'm looking, if I was getting into an argument with a gay guy and I'm like, you fucking faggot, like then I'm saying,
trying to
yeah,
hurt,
I'm trying to hurt you. Or if I'm like, you know, if we were like bullies picking on somebody, like, look at this retard, let's like, yeah, then you're an asshole. But like when you're saying it like what you're the act, like Terrence is being retarded, it's like it's more
We say
like
that all the time, though.
yeah,
That's-
it's like it's not meant to be derogatory to people. It's more like, look what you're doing. You're doing something that's stupid.
Yeah.
You know, and like intent matters, and to try to nerf the whole world for that because like something being said might offend people. It's like, dude, anything you say or do could offend somebody. Like Steve this morning, we were talking about some shit that was going on over Christmas. Like there's a potential thing where like for a Christmas dinner we would have to provide negative COVID tests, and I'm like, no fucking way, not doing that, not setting that precedent. And somehow it came up about like people's past and like worrying and honoring them. And Steve was like, oh, my grandparents were fought in, I don't remember the war. He's like, but you should pay homage to them too. It's like, yeah, I don't know anything about these people, but like if you're gonna, it just sets that weird precedent that you have to now worry and honor about every single thing that goes on. Like it will never end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like anything, we could say anything and
It's offensive.
yeah, depending on the person.
Unless you derogatory towards Irish people. It's the
You're
only.
allowed.
It's the only thing that still is still okay.
Yep.
You know, there's a slur for every single color, race, religion.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the Irish people we just don't give a fuck.
Italians don't either. Like you call us wops, skinny D's. Like no one cares.
I called someone a wop. It didn't go well.
No.
Really?
Yeah, in the airport. Yeah, it was.
In the airport. I feel like most people wouldn't get offended.
Most people don't. Some people do. But the fact that like, if something happens, let's say there's a huge bar fight and the police pull up in a van to arrest a bunch of people. What do we call that van? A paddy wagon, right? What is a paddy wagon? That's what they used to call
from the parking lot.
That's what they used to say because they used to come round up the Irish fucking drunks. You know, back in the early 1900s, they called it the paddy wagon. Put all the fucking paddies in there and take them to jail.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea. It's so funny when you think about like some of these things that you don't even know what they mean.
Like the origin.
Yeah, like
I
I didn't
said
know
cracker.
Yeah.
Remember you said like
Yeah.
what cracker meant? Like I thought it
Yeah,
was just
the
like
cracker whip.
like a cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
WAP. I didn't know what a WAP meant.
What does WAP mean again?
Without
Without
papers.
papers.
Without papers.
Like
okay.
all the Italians when they first came out. I didn't know that. And
I mean, that could be for anyone though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it ended up being like what is it? Dago, Guinea, Wop.
yeah.
I mean, I might know a couple of these.
Yeah, you seem like a
Chink, Spake.
encyclopedia.
Wait, what's the one for the that other word? The hard R.
The
Just
jiggers. That's what you measure shots in when you're bartending. You use the jigger.
kidding. Oh, okay.
That's a
what
real
you're talking
thing.
about, right? Yeah.
Oh.
Like you know
What
the little
about
metal
chiggers
thing
in the
that
woods?
you if you watch a good bartender that pours
Yeah.
like that little silver piece.
Yeah. That
It's
gives you the exact
double sided.
thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called a jigger.
A jigger.
Yeah,
I never knew that.
it's my jigger.
Ah.
My jigger man.
I'm a
Yeah.
good jigger.
Yeah.
Ah, there's one.
Catching fish, bro. I'm a jigging.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't fucking.
I can tell.
I don't know this.
They came for
terminology.
they came for Notre Dame this year too. Somebody posted and said it's time we talked about this. It's been avoided for so long.
What, the mascot?
Yeah.
Dude, the mascot is so
fuck
cool.
outta
For so many people that are like, because you had the Redskins, the Indians, the Braves, people going after all these Indian things. They're like, it's time we talked about this. And then someone wrote this, I don't know what you call it, article, essay, hit piece, whatever
Hit
you want.
piece, yeah.
And Notre Dame came out, and all the alumni came out and said, nope, move on. Nobody gives a fuck.
not happening.
It's like the Fighting Irish. Like that's
Dude, that
it's
is
a derogatory. If you think about it in 2021 terms, it is fucking derogatory.
Yeah.
You know, the Irish made a name for themselves for being rowdy and for fighting, and in addition, they were a lot of the boxers back in the day were Irish boxers. So it was like the Fighting Irish. That's what they're good at. You know, a couple things: potatoes, you know, drinking and fighting. So they named it, and their mascot is a fucking leprechaun with his hands up ready to fight. It's an amazing mascot.
So cool.
And all the alumni and all the people that are still working, they're like, nope, don't even try it.
And it's not
Keep
even
it-
on,
keep it moving.
It's not even like it's on their helmets. Like it's just like a side logo because their helmets are just gold.
Well, people did flip out when they had the black leprechaun. I think it was 2 years ago. The mascot. Every year there's a mascot, and he dressed up like the leprechaun, and it was a black guy. And there was like this whole like group that came out and was like, "This is fucking ridiculous," and everyone was just, "No, it's not. The guy's black. No big deal. It's a fucking black leprechaun. Nobody cares but you.
Black Irish.
You're being you're being an asshole." And that got squashed real quickly. And they're like, we're not making this a thing. We're not going to be the center of this PC debate. So our leprechaun is black. So is our quarterback.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's like Pat Med. They had to change their logo from, it used to be like a PM, and then the P was like an Indian head with
Right.
things
Yeah.
going back.
What are they, the Red Raiders?
Yeah, the
It's so
Raiders.
stupid.
And then same thing with Sachem. They were the Flaming Arrows, and now they're just Sachem Arrows.
They were the fucking flaming assholes.
What's derogatory about flaming?
Gay people did not like it.
So speaking of flaming, another story like similar to what happened with you and your uncle. I was at my Taylor's cousin's graduation party, and her cousin brought a date who was male, and he was like flamboyantly gay. And her dad was not like, I'm sitting there, like they kind of like have their arm around each other, and they're like rubbing each other's arm. And her dad, like the next day, is like, "Yeah, we had a flamer at the party last night." We're like, "Dude, that's his boyfriend." And he's like, "What?" And he kept saying, like, while we're at the party, he kept saying, like, "Oh, where's Harrison's girlfriend? Where's Harrison's girlfriend?" And they're like, "Right there, dude."
Yeah, my nephew came up to me one day to tell me that he was gay, and I looked at him, and he's just like, "I knew you weren't gonna approve of it, Uncle Nick." And I'm like, "Dude, like, you're wrong." I'm like, "I don't know why you think it's so important to tell me that you're gay." I'm like, "Do I tell you that I'm straight? Do I tell you that I'm into girls?" Like, no. I'm like, "You are who you are, bro. Like, it's that simple."
Yeah.
Like, do you honestly give a fuck what that kid's banging at night?
No, that's what I told him. I was like, "There's no need for you to tell me this, dude." I'm
Booty
like,
hole is booty hole.
And for I don't know about that.
You haven't seen my booty hole.
Hey yo.
Just think about Terrence's underwear.
Yeah.
No, but I told him, I'm like, dude, and like on top of that, like, you don't think I knew already, dude? Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You introduce him to Luigi?
no.
Dude, that's like my
Hell no.
my nephew, man. Like he transitioned,
Yeah.
and he was like worried about people accepting him. And I'm like, listen, man, I don't care. As long as you're happy, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. Again, it's irrelevant to me. Like, my whole thing is, I don't care. I really don't care what you do as long as you know how to merge. Like, just don't fuck my day up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what anybody does. Just don't force your belief systems on me. I don't care what you want to do. Like, the whole thing, like, even with the COVID stuff, like, you want to wear a mask, go ahead. You want to get vaccinated, go ahead. But just don't force me to do it, I don't care what you do as long as it's not by force. And as long as it's not like a real...
Yeah, it's not
like,
affecting my life.
Yeah, who cares what... I don't care what you do. Like, you want to do drugs? Go ahead, dude. I don't care. Just don't fuck my day up. As long as there's not like a real cost behind it. And that's my problem with all this stuff, is it's like, you want everybody else... You believe that you have some type of like moral superiority that you know better than we do. And it's like, fuck you. And like, I had an interesting thing at the bank earlier this week. I walked into the bank, no mask, and this woman's like, "Sir, you got to put a mask on." I was like, "I don't do that." She's like, "Well, it's our policy." I was like, "I don't wear masks." And she just let it go. And there was a woman in front of me, and she turned around to me, mask on. She's like, "Well, can you do me a favor? Can you just take a few steps back from me?" I was like, "Sure." And I backed up and didn't say a word. So I get to the teller. She's at the teller to the left of me. So we're probably this far apart from me to Shawn. And I'm talking to this woman. I'm like, "Hey, listen, my card got hacked. I have my old card. I need to make a deposit. Here's my license, blah, blah, blah." And then I'm like, "Hey, it's been a few days. Do you know where my replacement card is?" I'm like, "It still hasn't come in." Now, the woman who was on line in front of me, who like looked at me like in disgust and asked me to back up, turns to me and she's like, "You have to call customer service, ask for a supervisor." She's like, "I've been through this. This is what you have to do, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much." And she's like, "Wait a minute," because I had my phone in my hand. She's like, "Do you have Apple Pay?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Did you set your wallet up?" "Yeah." "Your new card's on the wallet already." Walks over to me, pulls her mask down, and starts showing me.
Fucking retard.
And starts showing me this.
Fucking idiot.
It's like, "Oh, look, it's here." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much." She's like, and literally, "Have a nice Christmas."
Touches your shoulder.
Touches me. And I'm like...
Yeah, but see, like, that person right there doesn't actually believe that the mask is doing anything. She's just complying. She's doing what she's saying.
And I realized... like, sorry, Rick.
Go ahead.
I realized that she probably expected me to be a dickhead.
That
When
too.
she asked me to back up,
yeah.
she probably expected me to be like, "Oh, what's your fucking problem?" But because I just said, "Okay,
Yep.
like whatever, that's what you want to do. I don't care. I just don't want to be forced to do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to the teller. She overheard me talking to the teller and probably realized I wasn't a dickhead. And immediately, all that bullshit
Yeah,
went
the
away.
tone changed.
It went away. Now she's next to me, pulls her mask down to talk to me, touches me. Merry Christmas. She was the nicest lady in the world.
Yep. Fuck yeah.
Bree
And, like,
and I
that's
were
what it
in-
comes down to. Like, you do what you do. Let me do what I do.
Yeah, live and let
we don't
live.
have to hate each other.
Yeah, live
Yeah.
and let live.
Bree and I were in Stop and Shop, like I think it was the day before Christmas Eve or some shit, or it might have been Christmas Eve. And you know, we're walking in, we don't have a mask on, and we're just fucking minding our business, getting our shit, and some lady's like walking past us, right? And she's like, you know, you should put your mask on. I just looked at her. I'm like, no, and I just walked away. I'm like. You really had to fucking say that? Like,
Yeah.
you have to go out of your way to tell someone else to put a mask on? How about you shut the fuck up and just keep walking?
Yeah,
Because
for real.
people really get this idea in their head that they know better than you.
Yeah.
And that's
I
what
was
it-
so fucking pissed off. I'm like, let that bitch walk past us again. And I'm like, she says something, I'm gonna fucking lay into her. I was gonna,
Oh my God.
I was gonna cause a fucking scene.
it's that whole idea of like the right side of history bullshit, like, you know, all this PC bullshit and canceling and going back and changing movies
Yeah.
and mascots. It's like, you really think that you know better. You really think that you're like the standard of morality. Like, go fuck yourself.
Or even last night at after the Green Bay game, right? They're fucking interviewing Aaron Rodgers for him breaking the thing, right? They're standing like 6 feet apart. She's got a mask on, and then whatever, they end the interview and they fucking hug.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
They do a social distance interview and then afterwards they hug.
That was
It's so goofy.
last year. They did the abbreviated sports in high school, so it's the abbreviated winter season. My son's in wrestling.
Oh my god! I just saw that the other night. Wrestling kids are wrestling with masks on. It's like, what
They,
the
they
fuck?
didn't have to wear a mask unless you wanted to. They
Yeah.
didn't enforce it. But my favorite part was
You can't
could
shake
wrestle
hands.
for 3 minutes and then you weren't allowed to shake his hand after the match.
Are you kidding
6
me?
minutes.
Yeah, okay, whatever it is. We'll have a fucking
6 minutes,
My
bro.
son never lasted that long, so. But the match would end, and he would stand there. I'm like, that's so weird. Usually they shake hands and they go shake the coach's hand on the other side.
Yeah.
And I asked him about it. He goes, "Oh, we're not allowed to shake hands because of
That's
COVID."
so
I was like,
ridiculous.
you can lay on top of each other and hump each other for 6 minutes, but you can't shake his hand when you're done. He says,
That's what
"I
I'm
don't
saying.
know, man."
There's no like true like understanding of what's
No.
going on, man.
It's
Like
so
even
fucking stupid.
even the other
all
night last
charade.
week, yeah, we went to Del Fuego's.
Oh my
and
god!
we walk in just
fuck
to,
Del Fuegos.
just
If
to-
everyone's listening, don't ever fucking go there. Fuck them.
we went there just to pick up food. We ordered food. We just had to go in and pick it up. So we walk in and the lady's like, "Oh, you have to put masks on." So Rem and I are like, "No, we're not putting masks on." She's like, "Well, you have to." We're like, "Well, we're not doing it. We're here just to pick up food. We're not looking to sit down." So she's like, "All right, let me go check to see if your food's ready." And we're like, "Yeah, we'll wait outside." So we tell her the name. We step outside. She comes back with the bag. We come back inside. And she's like, "You guys really need to put a mask on." And we're like, "We're not putting a mask on. I'm not doing this. You know, like just give us our food. We're here to be in and out. We're not looking to sit down." She's like, "Well, it's not my law. I didn't make the law." And we're like, "Well, it's not a law. It's a mandate. I don't even think papers were signed yet." And she's like, "Well, you have to put the mask on." And I'm like, "I'm not putting the mask on. We're not doing this. Like, please, like we'll be here in and out. Like this is going on a lot longer than it has to
Yeah,
be."
it would have been over.
Yeah, we
already.
would've
If you
been
just
already
fucking
out of the
took my
fucking
card
place.
and handed
Yeah.
me my food.
Yep. So long story.
Meanwhile, there's 3 cooks in the back.
Yeah.
Right. No mask.
Yeah, so that's what we said to her. I'm like, "Yo, like you're sitting here busting our balls about not wearing a mask. We would have been in and out." I said, "But you have 3 cooks in the back handling people's food without a mask on." So she's like, "Read the sign. I'm like, "No, I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna blast it all on social media." So I go to pull my phone out, take a picture, and she stands right in front of my phone, so I can't take a picture.
And then tell them about the.
Yeah, so then we're sitting here, we're like bickering back and forth a little bit more. And there's a couple next to us, you know, guy and girl, they got masks on. And the girlfriend's like, "Just take the mask and just cover your face. Don't even put it on. Just like put it in front of your face like this." And her boyfriend's like, "Shut the fuck up. They don't gotta put a mask on. Shut the fuck up."
Put this filter on.
yeah. So needless to say, we told her we weren't coming back. But we should just push the food back. It was like $100 worth of food. We should have been like, you know what? It's not worth it.
Honestly, if it was just mine and your food, I would have been completely cool with it. But like, I know we had like Lisa and fucking, I think Taylor ordered food.
yeah,
Bree ordered food.
yeah. We would have came back with no food. Those
Yeah.
women would have been mad.
Yeah,
It's all compliance.
Especially Bree.
It's
Bree
compliance.
gets so fucking pissed at me. She's like,
Hangry?
"Just put a fucking mask
Oh,
on."
really?
Lisa,
Yeah.
I think Lisa and Taylor would have understood, but still, I wasn't about to.
Yeah.
I wasn't about to play that game, dude. Hungry women, and you're the reason why they're hungry. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're asking for trouble.
down
man.
bad at that
Yeah.
point, baby.
I just, the whole thing is, there's no logic behind any of this. Like with the whole,
There's no like consistency.
no,
yeah.
and that's
You
the
know?
thing. Like even like the whole Christmas thing, like this dinner, I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. You want people to provide a negative test for what? Like, oh, well, because you weren't vaccinated. Vaccinated people are passing this shit on too. You would have a real argument if you're like, yo, you guys aren't vaccinated and you're like only unvaccinated people are getting this.
Yeah, look at the NHL, 100% vaccine.
Yeah,
everyone's 100%
NFL,
vaccinated.
NBA, and it's all rampant.
No,
they're bringing Kyrie Irving back
just
because
the NHL.
there's too many people on the COVID protocol to play, so they have to bring in an unvaccinated player to fill the gap. It's like, dude, how much more shit do you need to look at to see that this is all a circus? And the fact that people still comply and want to force you to comply, it's just it's never been more obvious. It's strictly about compliance. It's not about safety. Yeah. It's not about anything else. Anybody that still thinks that the government can control this you're so dumb. Yeah. You're so dumb. There's no government, there's no agency, there's no rules, there's no nothing that is going to stop or control this. It doesn't matter if you had 100% compliance or not. You're not going to stop COVID.
I love the people who are like, this family member, that family member got the vaccine and they still got sick and they're surprised. And it's like, yo, from the jump they told us.
Bree's brother just tested positive.
They told us from the jump that there's no COVID in the vaccine. They should have pushed it off as a precautionary measure, not a vaccine.
Right.
And people are still surprised that like, oh wow, like I got the shot and I'm still getting sick. It's like, yeah, like there was no dead virus in it. Like we knew this from the jump.
And it's all to drive this bullshit idea and narrative. It's literally like the thing that the White House put out, man. That is literally the playbook for class separation, to separate people as like vaccinated, unvaccinated. The unvaccinated or the other, they're the problem. It's a way to cause division amongst people, and that's all it is.
It's like the new racism. That's what it is.
It's just a way to divide people and to start justifying horrific things. This is like the playbook that they used in Nazi Germany. You start to use language and classifications to divide people. Like
when you really start to look into it, it's crazy how similar.
It's the same exact thing. This is what they did with the Jews.
Yeah.
They're called plague rats.
We're getting fucking canceled. Relax,
dude. I'm trying to cancel canceling.
Yeah. I feel you, dude.
I feel you.
But it is true, though, because like they even said back in the day when it was the Jews that were the focus, they were super spreaders of some kind of infection or whatever, and now the unvaccinated are being classified as super spreaders.
And that's how you start to justify horrific things done to these people. Oh, you're a nuisance. You're a threat to public health, so it's okay to round these people up and fucking burn them alive. Like, this is what gets done.
I don't know how true it is, but I saw that Hawaii is in martial law right now.
I didn't hear anything about that. Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
It's just bananas, man. It's like at this point, no matter what you believe, right? If you're really actually scared of COVID,
then
whatever,
don't fucking go out.
Yeah, but like, you can't sit here and believe what's going on. That like, oh, you're not wearing a mask and you didn't get vaccinated, and that's why this won't go away. If you really believe that like the government, the rules of these compliance would actually stop this, you're dumb. You're dumb. Yeah. There's no government or law or legislation or level of compliance that will ever stop the spread. It's not going to happen. This is something you have to learn to live with no matter what. So stop looking at other people that don't want to make the same choice as you as being the problem. That's not what it is. It's just, this is life. You can't control these things. We tried. It failed.
Right.
It's time to learn to fucking live with it.
Yep.
Manage your risk how you see fit, and that's it.
Right?
Yeah.
2 years into this, and they haven't said anything about, like, everything is about, like, how to not get COVID, right? Or, like, oh, you need to get the vaccine, right? You need to quarantine, socially distance, blah, blah, blah. But they don't tell you, all right, now, once you get it, what do you do, right? They don't say anything about eating healthy, nothing about sunlight, nothing about exercise. It's
even
like
the director of the CDC came out and said that. There was an interview with her, and they were like talking about like, well, if you get the vaccine, like, what's it do for you? What's the impact? How much better is it for you? And she's like, well, yeah, that's all great, but like the best thing is to not get COVID. That's not happening. Right. Everybody's going to get it.
Right.
Like, there's no real world scenario where there's zero COVID. It's never gonna happen.
And I can't stand the speculation. They're like, oh yeah, they got COVID, but their symptoms were minimalized because they had the vaccine. And it's like
how do you know that?
That's all speculation. Like, I don't understand like how you could possibly say that. Like, there's no way to possibly say that. Makes no fucking sense. Because like some people get it and they're asymptomatic. So it's like, okay, they're not vaccinated and they're asymptomatic. So how are you going to say that, like, if they were vaccinated? Like,
Well, there's
it
a
would
whole
be
idea that the
better?
asymptomatic thing's bullshit to begin with. That they never actually had the goddamn virus. There's really no such thing as asymptomatic.
And then there was a wedding 2 weeks ago. I was at a wedding, and then there was another wedding, and there was kind of like a COVID outbreak after that. So my friend's mom was feeling like a little shitty, so she took a COVID test, negative, took another COVID test, negative, took another COVID test, negative, and then the fourth one she was positive, and she's like, I have COVID. So it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, did you want COVID that bad that you just kept testing?
Wait, she did it all the same day, or was it like?
All my friends
she
got COVID.
She had them like I think she took. I think she took one.
I feel left out.
One a day. Yeah, like the braces.
But there is heavy speculation that there are quarantine or COVID camps out there. They're building these camps all throughout the country.
We saw the posting for it. There was a job
for the
posting
unvaccinated,
about it.
right?
There's a quarantine coordinator job in Washington.
And now they say they say for a fake card now you're like Hochul, put like up to a year in prison or some shit.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's crazy.
She's horrible, man. I don't know when that election is, but I can't wait.
2022.
Can't wait to vote against her.
2022.
I'm really looking forward to that.
But that's what people have to understand too, man. That like voting for the president's great, but your local elections are
Look at
really,
DeSantis.
Yeah, it's really what changes your day-to-day life.
Oh my gosh, DeSantis, yeah.
Florida's sounding better and better, boys. That's what I'm saying.
Let's move this podcast to FL.
Did we lose Shawn? What the fuck happened?
Yeah, he had to get ready. It's getting late anyway, so we should probably wrap this bad boy up.
Whoa, we got a question of the day?
No.
I don't think so. But Macus walked in, and I just wanted to say, damn, Macus got a nice dong.
A dong?
Oh, okay.
That
was a little sus.
Hey, yo.
Did you get a Christmas picture or something?
I'm just going to leave it at that.
Mac has got a nice new haircut, though, huh?
Yeah, look, he's a little handsome for Christmas.
Mac Daddy, you got a question of the day for us?
You could probably think
I know you
up.
have something in that fucked up head of yours.
Wait, don't we have the questions of the day that were submitted?
Oh my god, yeah, where are
Why
they?
don't we read some of the ones that got submitted at the fights?
I don't know where they went now.
Aren't they in that?
Does Laura have them? They were in like a head or something, weren't
No,
they?
I thought they were in the tray.
We do.
Oh, let's go! This is amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I thought they were still in my bed.
I think Rick submitted like he said he put in like 10.
15.
Some of them are mediocre. I'm not gonna.
Well, pick the best one.
You're not supposed to look through
All right,
them.
so we were at the Flex Fights 2 weeks ago, right? 2 weekends ago.
Yeah,
something like that.
St. James. So we had a booth. We're trying to be like a little staple over there, and
A big staple.
We had some of the people coming up to the table, checking out Laylo and our merch and shit. We also had them drop a question of the day.
Yeah, it's good to finally get some questions of the day. That was a really smart idea because no one's ever fucking DMing them to us.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. You guys gotta start.
Except our boy Ronnie.
All right.
He sent us some.
Yeah.
Yeah, his wife is looking for some headbands and not the beanies.
Yeah, we should just make her one.
Oh, Ronnie Mangano.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Shout out him. That's our boy.
Yeah. All right,
Was he from Germany?
Germany.
No,
Germany, bro. He's from
Virginia.
Virginia.
He's from VA.
All right, so
we
he-
did have someone from Germany who
All right,
wanted
so
merch.
here's one from our listeners. How many times per day is it considered okay to masturbate before there is a concern?
Before there's concern.
Yeah, like it's like an issue.
Concern for what? Like your dick's gonna start getting like
Yeah,
chapped?
like maybe you're like you're addicted to the ejaculation.
I think
game.
it's you go as many times as you can handle.
I
bro.
think I think a solid 2 a day is okay.
I think
Anything more than
two's
two,
fine. Yeah, I feel like 3 and up is cause for concern.
Yeah, you got an issue. Because then it's
Dude,
like
people get addicted to it. Like they won't like leave their house and they're just cranking it out. Like
yeah, because
nonstop.
if the suspect ain't gonna talk, dude, then you can't keep roughing him. You know what I'm saying? You can only bust so much.
Yeah, but what if the suspect is like, give me some mo?
Then I guess it's all depending on the person.
Yeah, dude,
it's situational.
If you're there's a line, right? Like, cause if you're some young kid, you want to be walking out there with a loaded gun all the time. So
That's
if
true.
you gotta fire off as many shells as you can before you can go out and operate properly in society,
fire them off.
fire them off. You know what I'm saying? I think that's
Here's
if you're not hurting yourself, keep cranking.
all right. So here's one that I definitely heard Eric Ott mention before. What's up with all the incense porn? Incest porn.
Incest.
Yeah, like the stepbrother. Stepbrother,
yeah,
what are you
what is that
doing?
about?
I don't know.
Mommy porn, stepbrother
Yeah, like
porn.
stepmom porn.
I don't know, but that's all it's
stepsister
on
porn.
porn.
Yeah,
Pornhub
like
right now.
stepsister shit.
Everything is
like-
stepsister,
Yeah,
stepbrother,
stepdad.
all kinds
Well,
of shit.
because it's like anything else, right? It's taboo. And taboo shit, like things that are deemed,
so like
like prohibited. Like anything that's not like, oh, don't do this, is it makes you want to do it even more.
Yeah.
That's what it is, because it's like taboo. Like, oh, we shouldn't be doing this. So it's
but I don't think like stepbrother stepsister counts as like incest because you're not technically related.
No, you're step.
It's not the same.
You're
It's not the
step.
same. It's not the
yeah,
same blood.
but like I don't know. Like that's like
You could
people
be-
talk
you
about like what if you had like your first cousin, right? Like, but you don't really like you don't see them a lot, but they're still your first cousin.
Yeah, but that's blood. That's blood.
But that's
though.
what I say. I see where Terrence is saying it's like having sex with like your dad or your mom or your sister, in compared to like
It's like a best
a
friend.
step brother who really isn't related by blood. It's just
Still
through
kinda
marriage.
weird, though.
It is still weird, but it's not. It's
like
not
how
in the
long?
same.
Yeah, but like all right. So say your dad got remarried when you were real young, and you grew up with this person. They're still your stepsister, but
Yeah,
now
that's
you grew
kind of
up
weird.
together.
But
Yeah,
what if
yeah,
you're
you grew
like
up together.
fucking someone and then you go to like Christmas and it's like,
Oh,
hey,
it's my
meet your
cousin.
stepdaughter. I
Yeah.
mean, your stepsister.
Yeah,
It's like,
Right.
oh.
That's had to have happened.
This
Yeah.
it's still wonky. Like, yeah, all right. If you're both, all right, we're 21 years old, and now I got this new stepsister, and then we fucking smash uglies. Like, all right, yeah, we're basically strangers where we've been fine at any other point in time. But it's like, all right, but now, like, all right, 20 years later, you're in your 40s. Like, oh, this is my sister who I fucked when we first met. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's still. It gets weird. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, it's definitely a little.
All right,
weird.
here's another good one. Would you rather be adult circumcised? So when you become an adult,
You get
that's
circumcised.
or have all your fingernails removed.
Oh my God, it's adult circumcised.
No, I'd rather lose my fingernails.
Yeah.
Wait, are they growing back, or they're pulling them out completely and then they grow back? Do you know how much pain that is? I mean, your dick pain's got to be
dude,
horrible.
you're 20 years old. You're gonna get your dick cut.
Oh my God, that's
I don't know about
that's
that.
that's
I'd
probably
rather
a,
keep my dick.
that's probably a Rick question.
I don't
That's a
know.
rough
I don't know though. I've seen some uncircumcised wieners, dude, and they're gross looking.
Yeah,
Why-
but like,
why
dude,
have you
there's
seen, like, a
botched-
hoodie on?
There's botched
Sus.
circumcisions.
Yes.
Say you're 21 years old and they botch that shit. Now you're like your dick's fucked
That
up.
happened to my
Yeah.
friend's kid. They had to read. I'm like, you guys, how many of these do you do a day? And you fuck that up.
Yeah, that's
and he
bad.
had to,
Yeah, I'd
he
rather
had
lose
to-
my fingernails because they're just the off chance that goes wrong.
I know. You know how
And
much
it's one less
pain-
thing you have to do before class.
You know how much pain
That is
that is,
true.
though.
That is
Dude,
true.
that's a
You're telling me you'd
excruciating
rather get
pain.
circumcised? You
I
don't
don't
think
know.
that hurts?
No, I know it's gonna hurt, but like all your fingernails. Like think about like when you cut your fingernails
didn't
too
say-
short.
You know what's
didn't
going to make
say-
you feel better? When you grab your entire dick that's still intact after that with your hand. That doesn't have fingernails on it.
They
That's
didn't
when I'd
say-
be like, yeah, I made the right choice.
I might go with getting my shit cleaned up. Keep my fingernails.
Dave, when you cut your fingernails too short, like you're,
I know it
it's
hurts.
like it's like so much pain. Imagine
No,
it
but
right
if you
there,
cut
like
your
how-
dick too
how-
short,
how
what do you
sensitive it would
mean?
be.
Wait, it said removed. It didn't say that they're going to rip them off.
Yeah, but even so, even if they rip them out and remove your fingernails,
Oh my
who's saying
God.
that you're not like under anesthesia, numbed up, and you just wake up and your hands are bandaged up? I mean, same thing with being circumcised. Like obviously, like
I don't know, like
having the skin cut off at 20 years old is gonna hurt. So I don't think they're saying like you have to live through the pain. I think it's like at 20 years old, do you clean up the wiener, or do you just live with no fingernails?
No
Wiener.
fingernails.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm going no fingernails.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping my dick intact. I'm still.
Yeah, I know, but then listen. All right,
Circumcision
fingernails
is a fucked up thing to begin with,
I know,
bro.
but I know,
Yeah.
but fingernails, like everyone's gonna like. All right, that's gonna look weird, obviously, but like, I don't know. I don't want to not be circumcised. Like,
No, that's what
I
I'm
feel
saying,
like,
too.
I feel like if
Well, you don't
like,
want to look weird with no fingernails. You could just be like, hey, listen, it was either this or my dick.
Well, I'd rather like not fucking. I mean, my yeah, but then I don't
They're
know.
going to be like, oh, why do you
Are we,
know?
all,
Like,
are we all circumcised?
Yeah,
Yes.
which is fucked up, honestly,
Yeah.
bro.
I
Like,
I don't
that-
know though. An
But, like,
uncircumcised dick is
It looks
weird.
it looks
It is weird,
like,
but only
I-
because
ugly as
that's what you
fuck.
know.
Like, I would
like,
think
you know what
that,
I'm saying?
like-
But like, there's a lot of stuff behind like what
And
a
you could get-
circumcision
and
really
you're-
is. Like, supposedly like. being
Pleasure.
yeah, there's like thousands and thousands of nerve endings in your foreskin that you
Great, so I'm
lose out
gonna
on. So you
bust
lose out
even
on.
earlier than I do already. Like, that's not what I fucking need, bro. But like, but like, you know, like that shit. It looks fucking like it looks gross. Like,
wait,
there's
are
definitely
there any benefits, though,
you're
to
more
having...
you're more
There's-
prone to infections. It's like
that-
it's
even that
it's
is
a
so-
hygiene thing.
But even that's like
And the
half
schmegma,
nonsense, dude.
like,
the,
oh my
the
God.
causes, the rates of infection on that are like super low. It was like a real bullshit justification.
really?
But what's like
yeah.
what's like the pros
and also
to
you can
having
clean it, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, of course.
What's the pros to being uncircumcised?
A cleaner looking dick.
No, I heard it feels.
There's
I
not
heard
really a
sex-
whole lot.
Uncircumcised.
I heard sex feels
Uncircumcised,
better.
yeah, it feels much better. And
I had a buddy of
Much
mine who
better.
said that girls he had a bunch of girls throughout his life. He's like 44, 45 now, and he said that he had a bunch of girls throughout his life that liked an uncircumcised.
it supposedly feels better for the women too.
Well, it's thicker.
Yeah, everything about it
It's
is
always
like.
about girth, baby.
Yeah, girth is like very underrated.
Plus, it's got to be warmer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Your little turtleneck all year
Yeah,
round.
dude, it's a good look. It's a good look.
They
Dick
look
scarf.
weird. Dude, they look
Dick
weird
scarf.
though.
They do look weird, but only because
We're not used to it.
Yeah, like, but like,
I
if,
guess dicks
if
just look weird in
circumcision
general.
wasn't a thing, you'd never know the difference. You'd be like,
True.
it's just what a
Yeah.
dick looks like.
We'll
You know what I'm saying?
we'll save these other ones for next week.
Yeah, it's not like they're like super attractive.
And like, you
when
don't have a
they're
choice with that
uncircumcised.
as a kid, man. That's not a choice that you get to make. It's like, that's just done.
Made
and
for
that's what I
you.
mean. Like, we say you're some infant, and they botch your circumcision. You have to live with that the rest of your life now.
Yeah.
You never had a chance at having a real dick.
That's true.
It's fucked
And you're
up.
barely gonna get laid, probably.
Yeah,
That's
like
true.
genital mutilation's a fucked up thing, man.
Do you think like? I mean, I'm sure you can sue for that. You can sue for anything.
I don't know.
Sue your parents.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
No, man, I don't know. I remember when my nephew was born.
I feel told to a
and
lawyer.
they came in asking about the circumcision, and my sister was still like under like the anesthesia and drugs or what they gave her, and she like asked me like, what do I think? And I remember being like,
Oh God.
and I was like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, do it. I don't want him. And then my whole thought process was like, I don't want him to be the weird kid that's not cut. Like as he gets older, I don't want that to affect him. So I said like to do it. And then years later, when I read about like circumcision and realized like it's kind of a fucked up thing, I'm like, man, I wish I would have known that when they first asked. You
Yeah,
know?
it's a hard decision to make, I guess.
I think if I had a kid now, I don't think I'd do it. I don't think I'd have him circumcised.
I would, just because like that's what's normal.
Yeah, but
Oh, so you're being a sheep now, dude?
Yes.
You're playing into the normalcy.
100% when it comes to the bag.
I don't know. I don't think I'd do it. I wouldn't be able to live with the fact that if it went wrong and like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it looks a little bit weird, but like women.
I'd have to really
women
read
get
into
like,
it, but I
once
don't
you get
think-
hard, man, it comes out of the sleeve. It looks fine.
No, it doesn't.
It looks
No,
normal once you're hard.
it doesn't look at the same way, but it looks more
It looks
normal than it does
enough.
when it's soft.
Yeah, dude. And girls will get past.
But then
it.
also too, it's a lot of work though. Then
Some
when
probably
when
don't, though.
When you gotta take a piss, you gotta pull back that extra
Oh, man,
just to
dude.
so you don't pee on
I don't even
yourself.
want to think about
That's
that
not
shit.
bad. Like I could deal with that.
You gotta roll it back a little bit.
I'd roll it back just to know, like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. All right, boys, let's
You know,
wrap
dude,
this
we
up.
could do a whole podcast about that. So
We could maybe next weekend. Maybe next weekend. All right, yo, let's thank our sponsors today, Island Kava, for always holding it down for us. We'll shout out Lalo. You guys are looking for Kava in a can. They're definitely number one. Island Kava is Lalo's #1 distributor. If you guys are ordering online, use our promo code JT20. Total Motion 360, big shout out to them. This week I got to really get down with the bar. If you guys are interested in a new innovative way to work out, go check them out. You can order them online as well. And our new sponsorship, Relax and Revive.
Just went there last week.
Yeah,
Fire.
I know a bunch of you guys did. We'll have to share your experiences
Yeah, we'll
next
talk
week
about
on the
that next week.
podcast. But if you guys are looking for a nice way
it
to
was hot and cold.
to
Yeah.
recover, if you're an athlete or just somebody who has a tough job, definitely go check them out for a nice way to recover. It's a cool environment. Asara is a great guy. He'll explain things with you, work with you through the ice plunge or cold plunge, I should say.
He's awesome. I gotta say, like, when you first go there, I went for my first time. He gave us a tour, broke everything down, all the benefits, what everything does. He's
Yep.
awesome. So like,
and he's a veteran.
Yeah, he is a veteran.
If you have any question you have, he's going to answer, and he makes you feel like very right at home and ready to go. There's no like
Like
apprehension
you're
or
not
anxiety
bothering
behind
him.
it.
Yeah.
I hate when you go places and it's like you're bothering them.
Like it's like a chore for them to like.
No,
work with you.
you could tell he
He
loves
likes
it,
it,
man.
yeah.
He's like, he loves the fact that you're there trying something new, and he like tries to make it as great of an experience as possible.
Yep.
Yeah, so go check them out. They're right in Bayport on Montauk Highway.
And also, we can't forget about Remy Fit.
Ooh, Remy Fit, yeah.
Ooh, what's that?
Yeah.
What could it be? It's the premier online training for combat sports athletes.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
All right, yo, thanks for listening.
Yo, shout out to Foreskin.
Ta-ta.
Toodles.